right, bring it up, bring it up. If you don't want it, somebody else got to come in here and take it, okay? You got to want it. You want to be dominant. If you don't want it, somebody else is going to come in and take somebody's spot. Who will? Oh, yes, baby. Oh, yes, baby. This is Holmen. This is Holmen. Who's going to step up? Step up. Step up.
All right, it's game day. You only got one job to do. That's win. That means you stay focused for 4 quarters. Know your assignments and finish on every play. Don't be looking for shortcuts, and don't even think about making excuses. Because if you want the W, you're gonna have to earn it.
Good evening and welcome to Friday Night Under the Lights and the Cooley Region Sports Network High School Football Game of the Week. Tonight's game is the kickoff to the 2013 season between the Chippewa Falls Cardinals and the Holman Vikings, and it's presented by Cooley Bank, bank with confidence. Culligan of Lacrosse, better water, pure and simple. Builders Flooring, flooring experts so you don't have to be. Jones Construction, 608-386-8292. Let the owner work for you. And Smokey's Bar and Grill. Tonight's CRSN High School Football Game of the Week is also brought to you by Howie's on Lacrosse, your ultimate sports viewing venue. Carrie Bandel, State Farm Insurance, celebrate my drive. Radio 1 Broadcast School. Check them out at radio1school.com. And Buffalo Wild Wings Grill and Bar. Wings, beer, sports. Now, here with the call of tonight's game and the Carrie Bandel State Farm Insurance pregame show from Empire Stadium in Holmen, Wisconsin, Rik Franke, Scotty Gran, and Tianna Vanderhei.
Good evening and welcome to the High School Football Game of the Week here on the Cooley Region Sports Network. Rik Franke along with Scotty Gran, Tianna Vanderhei down on the field. We'll talk to her in just a little bit. Glad you could be with us tonight. The kickoff to the Friday Night Lights, one of the greatest things America has to offer, my friend. We're excited to see what the Holman Vikings have to offer. There are high expectations this year. Steve King's 27th year. The conference, the MVC that is, has changed hands the last 4 years. Holmen the favorite this year, and they're going to want to get off to a bang like they did last year against Chippewa Falls.
Offensive weapons, size up front, a lot of skill position talent. Holmen may be sporting the best team they have ever had here at Empire Stadium, and we're here to witness it tonight, Rik.
We are here to witness it. You said the Holman Vikings are maybe going to bring out their best team they've had maybe ever. We don't know. It remains to be seen, but one thing we can say is that they have a highly touted quarterback back under center in Tyler Anderson. He's a senior. Last year, not huge numbers in terms of passing for yards, but when you look at 39% of his completions were touchdowns, Scotty, that means he can get the job done, get the big plays when he needs to.
Oh, he's an X factor. He's an athlete. I mean, he can run around and throw the ball. He's one of those prototypical quarterbacks at a lot of levels that we see now that are athletically gifted, move with their feet, stretch the pocket, stretch the receivers. Tyler Anderson does that. That's why he's on the West Prep Sports Dave Craig Award watch list right now, Rik.
He's on the list.
He's a great athlete, and we're going to see that tonight. And don't forget about number 27 behind him there, Rik.
Absolutely. You're talking about Dylan Martinez. When we did our high school and college preview show, we talked about Dylan Martinez being one of the most electrifying runners in the state, an 11.4 average per carry last year, 8 TDs on the ground, 4 of them in the receiving department. He's explosive in the kick returning game as well. Yes. Scotty, he'll have a big impact, I would believe, this season.
Also defensively, he was second team all MVC defensive back. I mean, the kid does it all for this Holman Viking team, and I tell you, Rik, I wouldn't be surprised if he ends up being the MVP of this conference by the end of the season.
Now you're going to talk about the switch to 3-4 on defense.
I like it.
You know, the triple option is nothing new for the Holman Vikings. They'll run it again this year, will Coach King. But that 3-4 defense, based off of the personnel, after talking to Coach King, he likes the big man in the middle. And I'm talking about Hunter Hauser, who is 320 pounds plus. He'll be the nose tackle in that 3-4. And then you look at a guy like Greg Rooney, who moves to linebacker, going to be huge this year. They have high expectations. And then Coach King said if I had 11 guys exactly like Noah Risch, he'd never lose a game, is what he said when we talked to him about Noah Risch.
I think Noah Risch is probably the heart and soul of this Viking defense. You talk about Hunter Hauser and his size, and granted, just so you know, he's being recruited by Division I schools. So, I mean, he's got a ton of talent. He's going to anchor that 3-4 a la like a B.J. Raji or some other players in the NFL where you got that big guy taking the two gap. But you got Noah Risch, a guy that's going to be explosive, make plays, great instincts, and Greg Rooney coming off the edge. That could be a recipe for disaster for a lot of MVC teams.
The talk is blitz and create havoc. Players smiling about the optimistic season they'll have defensively.
Yes, and Greg Rooney has the loudest pair of shoes I think I've seen so far in the 3 seasons I've done football games. Just saying. Last
year, the Holman Vikings 7-3 on the season, 4-2 within the MVC. They had beaten Wausau East 28-20 in the level 1 of the playoffs, but then lost to a very tough Marshfield team 42-14. They did win the opener against Chipa Falls last year 34-7. They had a 27-0 lead in the third quarter. Dylan Martinez, 126 rushing yards. They had 314 as a team with a couple of touchdowns did Dylan have. And then Tyler Anderson, he was big. He had a couple of touchdowns in the air and 1 rushing.
Yeah, and again, that just kind of counteracts. You talked about running the ball with Martinez, having Anderson mix it up a little bit. That's what Holman's going to do. I mean, they're not going to shock anybody with their offensive style. They're going to go ahead, run Martinez, mix it up with Anderson, throw a little bit, maybe some option in there. You never know because they got a lot of different guys they can throw in and play running back. And I tell you, Rick, you look at the roster with what Holman has, and you look at the rosters of the rest of the MVC. I don't know if there's a better roster that I've seen in this area. I mean, they're that good. We'll find out tonight because Chi High, they're bringing back a lot of juniors and sophomores that kind of contributed last year, a couple second-team all-conference players. So it's going to be a good matchup tonight, Rick. We'll test it out.
27 seniors on the roster for Chi High, 20 juniors and 28 sophomores. Last year, 1-6, 1-7 overall. Only averaged 10.2 points per game. The defense gave up 29 points per game, and they had just one win. That was against Eau Claire North, 33-15. Of course, Eau Claire North was winless on the season. But like you said, Scotty, when you're bringing back a quarterback like Tony Blair, you've got Dalton West in the backfield, who they have high hopes for this season, along with Kyle Webb. We'll see what those guys can do on the ground against this Holman defense. Is going to be tough.
Yeah, and the one thing that's intriguing, you look up front, they got Parker Levine coming back, their second-team defensive line, offensive line, all-conference, Big Rivers. Also, Amos Mayberry going to be the middle linebacker for Chi High. And then you look at Doug Schneider, another honorable mention, Big Rivers conference player. So you look at the guys up front, and Rick, they got a couple guys too. One guy's 265, one guy's 270, so they're not bringing a small lineup here to some degree, but you would have to say, you look on paper, Holman definitely is the bigger team. I would say Chippewa has a little bit, maybe more in the length department, though, as far as height. So
definitely a lot smaller than the guys you were just talking about is our very own Tianna Vanderhei, who is down on the field, and she's chuckling just a little bit there. Did you like that? You are much smaller and much prettier than all these guys out here playing football, but you're a fan of the game, and obviously we're very, very glad to have her, I should say, out on the field reporting for us via sideline. And obviously this is a big night for you. Your first kind of Aaron Andrews-esque type of job assignment here with the Coulee Region Sports Network, and I'm sure you're looking forward to it.
I am, breaking it in. Friday night football was always my favorite in high school. I would look forward to the end of the week just because of the football games. I'm excited to be back here. It feels like I'm back in high school. And with you talking about their defense they're playing tonight and this season, I thought it was interesting, Coach King, when we did interview him last week, how he said he has never seen a group of guys so determined and so focused. There's no messing around in practice. They have their eye on the prize. They're on a mission, and they know it. Confidence is key, and to come out strong, he also said every game is a new game. You can't look forward. You have to play it one day at a time, and I can have no doubts that they're ready to do that tonight.
They look very, very ready.
They do.
And
the excitement is flowing through the stadium. We've got a Hawaiian theme in the student section tonight.
I did see that, and I know that Phil Addis, our cameraman tonight, will get some shots of the students as well as finding you down on the field from time to time, and we'll have you keep an ear to the sidelines. I know you can't be within the player's box there, but you can kind of keep your ear out.
Close enough,
We'll
right?
come to you from time to time if there looks like there may be an injury or maybe a question about something, maybe even have you get closer eyes to where a first down might be if you can see it a little bit better than us.
That's why I'm here for you guys.
All right, Tianna Vanderhei, newest member of the Coulee Region Sports Network. Like I said, we'll check in with her from time to time. This is the State Farm Insurance Carrie Bandel Agency of Onalaska pregame show. We're going to take a quick break here. When we return, we'll get ready for our game tonight between the Holman Vikings and the Chippewa Falls Cardinals here from Empire Stadium in Holmen.
Carrie Bandel's State Farm Insurance in Onalaska invites you to join the greatest teen driving safety celebration on October 19th from 11 until 2 at the Onalaska American Legion. Celebrate My Drive, powered by State Farm, emphasizing the positives of safe choices behind the wheel. Participating high schools have a chance to win a grant of $100,000 or $25,000 or even a grand prize of a concert for your school by Kelly Clarkson. Fun carnival games to learn safety driving habits, music, hot dogs, beverages, and more. Celebrate My Drive with Carrie Bandel, State Farm Insurance in Onalaska, October 19th. Go to CelebrateMyDrive.com for more information.
Yeah! Yeah! That just happened!
Yes, it did.
No! Yeah! Yes, 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 yes! Yes! We did it! Yes, we did! Yeah, we did it!
Yeah, see you, bud. Later.
Honey, who was that?
Who, that guy? I don't know.
Get caught up in the excitement. Buffalo Wild Wings. Wings, beer, sports.
Welcome back to the Carrie Bandel State Farm Insurance pregame show from Empire Stadium in Holmen. Here's Rick and Scotty.
Rik Franke, Scotty Gran back from Empire Stadium as we get set for some opening announcements and then our national anthem here. Beautiful night for football, Scotty.
Yes, it is, no doubt. And I think the Holman Vikings are waiting to hear maybe a quote from the old Queensryche song. Can you hear it calling? Can you hear them coming? It's Empire.
Let's keep our ears to the field now. So there you go, our national anthem, part of the proud tradition before any sporting event here in the United States of America with the flag out on the field. The Holman Vikings getting in a team huddle. The cheerleaders are doing their thing. The Chi-Hi Cardinals getting over to their side of the field. And we're almost set, Scotty, for kickoff of the 2013 campaign, high school football style.
Yeah, and I mean, Rick, we got a full slate. You know, next week we're going to Onalaska to watch the West Salem Panthers and the Onalaska Hilltoppers. Following after that, the Aquinas Blue Golds and the Logan Rangers, Central and Holman, Logan and Central. We're everywhere, man. We're going to be across the board this year.
Going to be a lot of fun. We'll have our cameras out, and of course, we're hoping you can join us. And even if you can't take in the game live on Coulee Region Sports Network, you know you can always go back and see the archive on Ustream, because everything that we do, we make a copy of it for you so you can go back and watch it. If you were at the game, you can maybe go spot yourself out there.
That's right. And even, you know, honestly, if you're into football scouting, kind of like you and I are, for future prospects, that's something I like to do, to watch and scout for games that we're doing in the future. I think it's a good way to do that.
Let's talk about the coaching staff for the Holman Vikings. Of course, head coach Steve King in his 27th season. The assistants, Mark Wall, Travis Kowalski, Mike Gillespie, Jason Luloff, Jordan Hansen, Craig Newsom, there's a name you know,
yeah.
Josh Kronig, Kyle Just, and Rob Burgee. are the assistants. And we did see freshman head coach Roger King gave us a ride, helped us up with the equipment here to the Empire Stadium. Yeah, he gave me a ride. And made it much easier. It is a little bit of a trip from the parking lot here at Empire Stadium up to the media box. And, yeah, I know I'm getting a little old, I guess.
I guess I lost a couple pounds on the way up. That's good. Maybe I'll be a little bit more spry in my delivery, I guess you could say, this evening.
Holmen, of course, in their home darks, and the Chi-Hi Cardinals with the cardinal red pants, the black socks, and the red helmets with the Chi-Hi insignia on the helmets. Maybe some of you from Chippewa Falls may be watching the game here tonight. Welcome aboard the Coulee Region Sports Network. As you heard Scotty say, we'll be covering games each and every Friday night. Of course, we carry it on into basketball season, hockey season, and much, much more. It'll be the Cardinals who will receive here, and one of the guys you got to watch out for is Zach Slowiak. He's a defensive back, but also a big name in the kick returning game here. Also back deep is Kyle Webb, who we talked about as one of the talented backs here with the Cardinals.
Yeah, they got a couple of those. We're going to see that featured here tonight as Chi-Hi is going to look to get that ground game rolling early to set up the pass.
Greg Rooney is going to be the kickoff artist here for the Holman Vikings. That's a big guy coming at the football here. We're just about ready to go. From Empire Stadium, we are underway. It's a low line drive kick, goes over the head into the end zone, and a touchback to start things out as Greg Rooney got all of that football centered around, and it's a good way to start if you're the Vikes.
Yeah, more accurate than Mason Crosby kicking the ball at any point on the field. Rooney put that one right down, and I tell you what, no return on that, but good placement of the kick.
Looks like they're going to redo this kick here, as maybe there was some motion ahead of time. Everyone lining back up.
Yep, looks like an offsides on the kicking team. That would be Chippewa, or the receiving team, Chippewa Falls here.
So they're going to kick it off from the 45 now. So an unauspicious start here in terms of a penalty to start out the game. It was a beautiful kick, but to no avail for Rudy. So he'll redo things again here at Empire. Gorgeous night, warm, but the fans in the shades, at least on the Holman side, the Chippewa Falls Cardinals fans that get the sunshine still. Probably a little tough to see on the field there with that sun coming down from the west. Shouldn't have too much impact on the players here as Rooney with a low line drive goes right off one of the front linemen for the Cardinals, and they'll start with the football at the 34-yard line, their own 34-yard line. Is we're finally going to be underway with some offensive attack from the Chi-Hi Cardinals here.
Good quick hands by Joe Talman for Chippewa Falls there, picking up that ball. He is a sophomore, 210-pound offensive lineman.
So glad you can enjoy the sights and sounds of high school football opening night under the Friday night lights, which have been turned on here. Don't quite need them yet, but you will in no time. Temperature's supposed to drop down into the mid to low 70s. That's the low point, I think, for tonight. Game time, 85 degrees. And a shift in formation here for Chi-Hi. As a quarterback, Tony Blair out of the shotgun. He'll give it to his back, which is Kyle Webb, and huge stop there by the Vikings. Getting in on the tackle, Logan Lasik, one of the defensive linemen of the Vikings, but that was a two-man job.
Yeah, good outside contain over there, and I tell you, Lasik got in there pretty fast, but in this 3-4 defense, if you don't contain that outside linebacker, you might as well just wrap it up with a bow and just lay down.
Pickup of 1 on the play. It'll be 2nd down and 9 here for the Cardinals. And Blair, screen pass left, gets his receiver, picks up 4 as he gets the pass off to Kyle Webb. So it'll be 3rd down and 5 yards to go here for the Cardinals.
A quick flare out right there, Blair over to Webb, but great pursuit by Greg Rooney over there on that left-hand side, and showing that speed for a big man, Rick. That was pretty impressive.
So it looks like there is a call here as the 2nd down marker still in place, and it looks like it's going to be going against the Cardinals. They'll mark it off from the spot from where they pick things up, so some holding maybe on the play, and it's going to move back to the 30-yard line. So it'll still be 2nd down, but now you've got 15 yards to go to the Cardinals.
Now this is where that 3-4 plays in, Rick. See if they send some extra pressure to force a bad throw here.
So now out of the shotgun, Tony Blair, senior quarterback. Started as a sophomore, so his 3rd year as a starter here for the Cardinals. And back to pass. Looks downfield, hitting the left sideline, and some contact. It's going to be pass interference coming up against the Holman Vikings, as it looks like Mitchell Deininger is the guy who got his hands on the receiver. It's a nice pass, but knocked him down on his way there.
Yeah, Deininger right there just breaking the cardinal rule of covering a receiver. He didn't look back for the ball, just stuck his hand up right there, and that's an automatic call. That's going to get that every time, Rick, at any level of football when you do not look at the football.
But now more conversation from the officials, as there may have been a flag before that.
Do we have coincidentals here?
If that's the case, we're going right back, I would believe, to the line of scrimmage.
Maybe another holding call.
No, they're marking it off. They're marking it off from the initial spot. Looks like 15 yards. And it will be an automatic first down, ball at the 45-yard line.
Everybody's trying to get back on track here, I think, in this first game. Don't you think?
So we've had 3 penalties already, Scotty, right. And obviously this being the first game of the season, you expect to see some of that stuff.
Yeah, you know, you got your growing pains early in the year and iron out all the kinks, and early, like you said, a lot of miscues.
So again, Blair under center. He's got the spread working as he drops back into the shotgun. Motion to the near side. And they give up the middle. Webb takes it left side, and he's going to pick up 5 on the play. Well, he's forced out of bounds, and it'll be a second down and 5 now for the Cardinals.
Yeah, Deininger that time making up for the last play, doing a good job closing and sealing off that lane, as Webb had a pretty good edge to go around, as there was some pretty good seals by the left tackle and the left guard on that side.
Again, first year for the 3-4. Coach King implementing it based off of the personnel that he has. And Blair now drop back again to the shotgun.
Yeah,
seems to be something they're hoping to draw some space to the outside.
Right.
Long snap count, handoff up the middle again. Webb bounces off his own blocker, then gang tackled by the Vikings at midfield. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage.
Penalty on the play. It looks like it's going to be, I think, a legal procedure on Chipa Falls. I don't think the tight end was set when they snapped that play.
They plugged the hole quickly to the Vikings. A gang tackle. Leading that was Chuck Saraskis.
Yep.
And Saraskis, 6 foot, 247-pound junior linebacker. And as Scotty said, a penalty being assessed here. Yet another one. 4 of them already.
Yeah, this game getting off to a sloppy start here, Rick. And the other thing we're going to do, we're going to be tapping in around the Cooley region, checking out scores as they come up here. So stay tuned to the webcast here on CRSN if you're trying to listen for your favorite football team scores out there.
Your alma mater big winners in their first game against Melrose Mindoro.
Tianna, did you hear that? 36-zip, Bangor. They won. I don't think she has her mic on.
You called it early.
I did.
You did.
Here we go. Back to action again as we're at 2nd and 10. And again, it's back to the shotgun for Blair.
It's like an NFL spread formation.
It is. Oh, dropping back into the pocket. Blair goes right sideline, trying to hit his receiver, Justin Ignarski. Can't quite connect.
Yeah, good job that time by Deininger as he stayed with the receiver that time, turned and looked for the football. And like you said, I mean, you just gotta close on that play, and a good job of looking at that all the way so he doesn't get another penalty.
9:39 left here in the first quarter. 3rd down and 10 here for Chippewa Falls. No score. The ball at the 45. Chi-High's own 45. Blair drops back. Quick step, gets pressure. He rolls to the far sidelines, throws it, incomplete. Good pressure, forced out of the pocket, and then getting in front of the pass there for the Vikings was Michael Wogan.
Yeah, Wogan, another one of those athletes, Rick. He, baseball, of course, we all know his basketball prowess, and, of course, football, and that time, pretty good closing speed, and then Big 71 was right behind him, and you know who we're talking about there, Big Chuck.
Oh, yes. 9:33 left here in the first quarter. 4th and 10. It'll set up a punting situation here for the Cardinals. And you know who's back deep. Martinez lets it bounce at the 25. He's just going to let it go to the 20. Wise choice as that ball took a Chi-High bounce, and that's where the Vikings will start out their first offensive attack of the game. We are scoreless here in the first quarter from Empire Stadium in Holmen.
So Chippewa trying to throw off that 3-4, Rick. Now let's see how Holman executes their offense. I think we're expecting a lot of things, but I think you'll see that a lot from the Cardinals tonight as they're going to use that spread formation, kind of go in and out from a strong left, strong right to see where that, I guess they can find that blitzing linebacker in that 3-4 scheme. That's what they're trying to do.
So the triple option is what Coach King will run. Tyler Anderson, the quarterback, from the very beginning here this season. And a lot of eyes on him this year. Right up the middle, gets plugged, but dragging a couple of tacklers forward to what looks to be about the 24-yard line was Mitchell Denninger, and he's again a junior, 5'10", 159 pounds.
You know, another area team that we haven't discussed is the Caledonia Warriors, and Rick, believe it or not, they're losing 6-0 right now. You haven't heard that in a long time to Chatfield.
Little update there. Scotty Gran keeping his eyes on Twitter tonight. You're going to tweet too?
I already tweeted.
A nice defensive play there by the Cardinals, getting in quickly. Number 29, Parker Levine. He's a 205-pound defensive lineman, a senior. But it looks like they may have had some foul play there.
No, Anderson actually took that ball. It was a deceptive play, Rick. He went right up the middle and got the first down on a 10-yard scramble.
Maybe I need to get my glasses checked because they faked me out quite well.
We're all here for you, brother.
Glad the camera picked it up.
That's right.
That's that triple option. It can make you see things, and that's why it's so deceptive. Again, deep under center. And again, it's a pitch outside to Martinez. He's still on his feet, very close to a first down at the 45-yard line, eventually knocked out of bounds. We'll see where they spot that football. But, yeah, when they're going to the far side of the field, it's very tough to pick up that football from our perspective.
You can see that the execution that they're running, too, with this offensively. I mean, they've been doing it, obviously. That was a great pitch by Anderson out to Martinez. He waited for that D lineman to commit and not seal that contain. Martinez got out to that right hash.
So, again, the full house backfield, the triple option offense with Anderson under center. This time the give is right up the middle. Plunging forward for a first down was Deininger.
Yeah, Deininger that time with a good head of steam behind Hunter Hauser, and you're usually going to get a good head of steam behind him at 308 pounds.
So out across the 45 to the 46. Tianna, very interesting start to the game with all the penalties, and it was kind of interesting to see finally with this triple option offense, the Vikings moving the ball on the ground.
Yeah, definitely. You know, it was told that they ran the ball a lot last year, and that's what they're going to try to do this year. They got big guys to come out and help block for them. But everyone's going to start off with a couple mishaps. It's the beginning of the season. Got to get those jitters out.
Good carry this time all the way up into Chi-High territory to the 40-yard line. A first down for quarterback Tyler Anderson, longest carry of the game.
You know, Rick, one of the staples of the triple option is that 23 dive or even the counter play. And that time they faked that dive, and then they ran the counter with Anderson, totally throwing off the linebackers at Chi-High. They did not read that immediately, getting that big chunky yardage.
All the way to the 40-yard line, just outside the 40. First down, Holman Vikings. Moving the football nicely now. 7:06 left here in the first quarter. We're scoreless at Empire Stadium in Holmen. Again, here's Anderson. He sheds one tackler, but eventually dropped there by number 90, Seth Weiland, the senior. 214-pounder, gave him a little lick there, but he picked up two, did Anderson. So he's called his own number a few times here on this drive.
I think Steve King's going to do that, you know, in this game to kind of get him used to contact. He's going to need to be, as a triple option quarterback, you got to be prepared to get hit, especially on those toss pitches.
So the ball now to 38 of Chippewa Falls. Anderson. Drop back this time. He'll look to his right, trying to hit, and just misses, overthrows the intended receiver, who was Chris Magnuson. He's one of those backs in that triple backfield, and that pass just a little too far.
Yeah, good coverage on the outside, though, by the outside linebacker, picking up his zone nicely for Chi-High. And, you know, Anderson trying to lead that one a little too far right there for Magnuson. I think they were looking for Rooney on the seam route, but they had that covered very nicely.
So it is now 3rd down and 8 here for Holman. 6:17 left in the first quarter. Scoreless here at Empire Stadium. We'll see if Tyler Anderson goes to the air again or they try a little more misdirection. He will take it himself, calls his own number, breaks through one tackle, two tackles inside the 25 to the 23-yard line. Nice pickup there by Anderson as he gets another 15 yards or so.
Yeah, Bailey Decker better be careful for Chippewa Falls. He took a little extra shot there at Anderson after the play, but no call. There's another score update, Rick. Black River Falls up 7-0 early on Sparta.
Scotty keeping us posted on the scores. We'll do that throughout the night.
Bangor won 36-0.
They did last night, Scotty. Thank you so much
You're
for
welcome.
that. Tiana's laughing at you down there.
That doesn't happen much.
Yeah.
I know.
Holman on the move now. First down and 10. And give left side. And another nice pickup up to about the 15-yard line as Anderson has been running the football himself quite a bit.
I think, pretty soon here they're going to keep running this inside, and then you're going to see a lot of Martinez going outside here pretty quick. I think they're setting this up for something big here with all these play calls on that left-hand side.
Anderson with unofficially 48 yards now on the ground. That's all in the first drive for the Vikings. Second down, 2 yards to go. Give right side. And that is stacked up nicely by the Cardinals defense.
Yeah, you don't see that very often on Hauser there, and a really good play, and that good pad level there by Brady Schleitz, a 170-pound defensive lineman.
So Dinger got the call that time. It'll be now third down, 2 yards to go. Big play here for the Vikings. Cheerleaders trying to rev up the fans here. First game under the Friday night lights this season. And a huge play on defense and a late hit there by the Cardinals. The fans are definitely weighing in their opinions as Dinger get knocked down in the backfield. And the initial hit was an excellent stop by the linebacker, but then another hit way after he was already down.
We talked about Amos Mayberry in the pregame, Rick, and he read that trap just quickly, reacted, and that is a textbook hit right there by number 95 for Chippewa Falls.
So no call on the play, 4th down and 1. And the Vikings will go for it deep inside. Ball at the 13-yard line. And the plunge ahead looks like it's going to be enough to pick it up. Only needed about half a yard, and I think they got it. We'll see.
Yeah, Deininger jumping over the pile right there.
So far, the chain gang hasn't made any movement. Still waiting for the
They're going to measure it.
Move from the officials, and so, yeah, they'll come out there. Now, I know your perspective down there, Tiana, is probably not the greatest one from there. If you were on the left side of the field, maybe you'd be able to tell for sure, but your thoughts initially on this?
I think they're through. Definitely looked like they got some yardage on that, and they didn't have far to go.
So we'll see. Needed about half a yard, so we'll see. Here they're stretching out the chains now.
Nope.
And short. According to the mark by the officials, the Cardinals have stopped the Holman Vikings on a 4th and short, and now will take over the football. So, Scotty, that's a momentum builder for this Chi-High team.
It is, and you got to kind of question the play calling in that situation because of the fact they kept going inside of that trap a couple times there. If I maybe trying going outside with the counter in that situation, faking the trap maybe would have got them maybe 2 or 3 yards easily on that left edge. They've been running that quite a bit to that side because they got the size advantage over there.
So 3:57 left here in the first quarter. No score as the Chippewa Falls Cardinals with a big stop defensively, and their quarterback in his 3rd year as a starter, Tony Blair, will drop back into that shotgun again after starting out under center. Here's the give, right side. Some space, but then the Vikings converge, knocked down at the 15-yard line. On the carry, it was Zach Back. Or, excuse me, my bad. That was not Zach. That was Deshaun Beatty, the running back for the Chippewa Falls Cardinals. But nice defense there by the Vikings.
Yeah, good job by Magnuson and Greg Rooney to seal that edge, and Rooney with a devastating hit.
So 2nd down and 7. And again, the shift after the initial approach to the line of scrimmage here. Here's the pass by Blair. Overthrown, intercepted by Dylan Martinez.
Touchdown.
He has room down the sideline and scores. Pick 6 for Dylan Martinez. Rumbles it on in from 14 yards out, and it's 6-0 Holman Vikings got it.
Must have been some miscommunication with the route right there as there was no receiver in sight. Good defensive play call by Holman, staying home in a cover 2. Rushing the blitzing linebacker off the left-hand edge to make Blair throw it early. Martinez, Rick, if he's going to get something like that with open field, you might as well just ring it up on the board because that was too easy.
So pick 6 for Dylan Martinez. And I was going to say, Scotty, are you surprised at all we haven't seen him run the football out of the backfield so far? He had one pass thrown his direction. But maybe we'll see a little more of him in the backfield coming up in the next series.
I think they're baiting Anderson to get Martinez a little bit more carries when Chi-Hi maybe starts to get some fatigue. Then you'll probably see some more outside, a little bit of toss sweep, maybe some option dishes. We'll see how the game progresses.
Looks like a change in personnel here. So an interception by Dylan Martinez. The difference here on a pass that was really nowhere near the intended receiver for the Cardinals, and scampering in down the far sideline was Dylan Martinez for the score.
Another score update. Central up 6-0 over Eau Claire North at this time. Arcadia up 7-0 over Indy Gilmanton right now.
You shortened up Independence there. You just went with Indy.
It says Indy Gilmanton right there.
It's the short version of Independence.
I know, but I read what's there. It's like the Anchorman thing on the teleprompter. Right. I only read what's on the teleprompter.
All right.
That's it.
So the Vikings discuss how they want to go for the conversion here. And it looks like they're going to go for 2, it appears. I see that Tyler Anderson moving what looks to be. No, he's going to be – is he going to – let's see here. No. Yeah, I think they're going for 2 here. No, they're not. They are going to kick. Cameron Zimmerman, who was successful last year, missed just 2 extra points. And the set is nice, and Zimmerman puts it right between the uprights for a 7-0 lead for the Holman Vikings. It's the defense that gets on the board first, Scott.
And the defense has, just so many playmakers. The one thing that you can look at, Rick, is the fact that they just set that up nicely, period. Good defensive call with the cover 2.
We'll take a break and be back with more from Empire Stadium in Holmen. It's 7-0 in favor of the Holman Vikings.
Howie's, and I love talking to my guests, and I love making new friends.
I've been here multiple times. It's a great atmosphere, and I've always enjoyed the food.
My sister said there's a new place called Howie's. Somebody told me about it and said, have you tried Howie's? We're eating the jalapeno cheese bites. They're very good.
Even if you've been to Howie's, you've never been to Howie's.
I didn't even recognize it, comparing it to the old Howie's.
La Crosse's new favorite restaurant, Howie's on La Crosse Street.
Rick and Scotty back at Empire Stadium as we get set for the Holman Vikings to kick off. They intercepted a pass from 14 yards out and ran it in for a touchdown, giving them the lead. The extra point good by Zimmerman, 7-0, and here we go. Rooney with a nice boot. That's going to go over the head of the kick returner, and another kick all the way back for a touchback. Of course, he had that happen the initial kickoff, but there was some movement, and then he had to kick it again.
Yeah, and you like to have that field position. Obviously, you want to play that battle and win that battle throughout, and, if they can continue to do that, they're going to put Chi-Hi in some interesting situations deep in their own zone, a la what happened on the interception return for the touchdown. Deep in their own zone, and you get a pick 6, and it's easy.
So we'll see how Blair feels after throwing that interception. We'll see whether he goes to the air here again right away or whether he's affected at all by throwing that interception.
Aquinas Prairie Desheen scoreless after 1.
They're playing over at Onalaska High School tonight with the Hilltoppers out at Merrill. Again, the shift back into the shotgun. 3 receivers split near too far. And Blair drops back in the pocket. He's going after it again, but he's being chased out of the pocket, and that pass is going to go way out of bounds and incomplete.
Yeah, good pressure that time, and back there quickly again. Big Chuck. He's back there again. I mean, that guy is a blitzing machine. They brought on the edge, and Rooney was there as well.
Yeah, they've had good pressure. But obviously, Tony Blair goes to the air again, so they know it's got to be their game plan here against the Vikings because running inside most likely not going to work.
Yeah, with that size on the inside, and then, of course, Noah Rishin there, the defensive leader.
Quick 2-step drop firing to the near side, but whistles blowing before that play can actually happen.
As I was saying, Noah Rishin there leading the plays and kind of reading things early. You don't want to give the Vikings a lot of opportunities with these athletes on the offensive and defensive side of the ball.
Scotty, your take so far on how that 3-4s look?
I think it's been pretty aggressive for the most part. Honestly, I think that they're kind of figuring out what Chipa Falls is trying to do offensively, and then maybe communicating with the defense on how to switch up some things here to get that blitz pressure.
And again, Blair throws near side pass, not completed. Was it behind the line of scrimmage is the question. If
yes,
it is, it's a fumble recovery, and it is.
Yeah, and that's such a dangerous play here as Justin Ignarski. Is that how you say that, Rick? Ignarski. Yeah,
couldn't hold on to the ball.
Try to get that flare pass out there, that wide receiver screen, but if it's behind the line of scrimmage, that's a fumble, and Greg Rooney pounced all over that. Good awareness by 35, and another turnover for Chippewa Falls.
So the turnovers is what the Holman Vikings did real well last year, and they're off to a great start doing it again here with ball in great position at the 9-yard line of Chippewa Falls. 1st and goal to go with Anderson under center. And the full house backfield triple option. Here we go. Here's Anderson taking it right side, trying to drag tacklers all the way up to near the end zone. Dylan Martinez had his hands up, but the officials yet to call it. Looks like it's going to be short by just a little bit. Pickup of 8 on the play for Tyler Anderson, who's up near 60 yards carries here in the first quarter.
Yeah, good run by Anderson as he went right on the back side there of Deininger on that trap and just followed him and almost scored there.
2:30 and counting left here in the first quarter. 7-0 Holman knocking at the door right near the goal line. My guess is they'll try it again right up the middle. Use that big offensive line. Give right side. Touchdown, Vikings. And Deininger gets it in, cross the line. His first touchdown of the game. And the Holman Vikings, just like that, after a big stop by Chippewa Falls that turned the ball over. And the Vikings intercept a pass, get a touchdown, then quickly make things happen with a touchdown there by Deininger.
Yeah, Deininger right behind Hunter Hauser and Chuck again. On that right side, and pretty good play call there by Steve King. Just use that power.
And they put it through again, so Zimmerman gets his second conversion, and it's 14-0. Holman Vikings here at Empire Stadium. It's the high school football game of the week of the Coulee Region Sports Network.
Smokies in downtown Holman is a great place to meet up with friends and family after any event. Smokies offers food and drink specials throughout the week to start your evening off right. Smokies offers great atmosphere and awesome entertainment like karaoke every Wednesday night with Rose Sabota. Also, Rose will be at Smokies Friday night, September 13th. On Friday, September 20th, live music with the Cheap Charlie Band, and Saturday, September 21st, a blues band from Milwaukee called 3rd Street. Start your weekend off right at Smokies by the Holman Meat Locker and Metropolitan Salon, downtown Holman.
Rik Franke, Scotty Gran back at Empire Stadium in Holman. The Vikings with a 14-0 lead, punching in from 1 yard out. As Deininger gets the big touchdown, fullback rumbles across the goal line after a turnover on a fumble by Chippewa Falls. 2 big turnovers resulting in scores for the Vikings, Scott.
Yeah, and you can't give this Viking team those opportunities. Obviously, very opportunistic.
And again, a big kick there from Rooney, fielded at the 1. Here they come, up across the 20 to the 30, and that's where eventually they'll run out of real estate. A return by Zach Slowiak, and Slowiak actually did a pretty good job with it, found a little bit of a seam in the middle of the field, getting up just shy of that 30.
Yeah, I tell you what, Ryan Hesselberg, though, the sophomore 228-pound defensive lineman, man, I tell you what, for 228, he was moving like he was a $180 going down the field. I think he blasted one of the Chi-High blockers down 5 yards down the field. Merrill up 22-0 on Onalaska in the first quarter.
That's a tough start. Of course, Merrill, we heard from the coaches when we did the MVC roundtable over there at Howie's, and they said, hey, that's a good football team. That's going to be a test. And obviously they're off to a good start against the Hilltoppers. Hilltoppers, new quarterback there in Williams. We'll see how they get things going, see if they can get back in that football game.
My guess, Matt Scrady out at Westby. Westby leading Richland Center 7-0.
That could be. Blair gave it to his back, still on his feet. Webb dodges a couple tacklers, still moving to the left sideline, and eventually driven out of bounds at the 25. So that's going to be a loss on the play. Vikings shot right in there right away, almost got him way deep in the backfield.
Yeah, I think the Vikings are really starting to read this spread-style offense that Chi-High's running, and every time they run that strong side tight end and receiver, that's obviously where the play's going. I think those linebackers are reading that and they're reacting quickly on that, so Chi-High got to mix it up here.
Loss of 4 on the play. It'll be 2nd and 14. Blair under center. Continues to bark the signals. trying to draw the Vikings off. Now he'll set back into that shotgun again. Trade the tight end back to the line of scrimmage. And nowhere to go as Drew Steinmetz saw nothing but maroon.
He saw Chris Magnuson coming right in his face, and then right on the backside, Noah Risch, 56. I mean, he's been in probably every play in this game so far.
3rd down and 16. Vikings defense has picked it up as we're under a minute left to play in the first quarter. Holmen up 14-0. They were victorious last year up in Chippewa Falls. Again, Blair moving back into that shotgun. Pulls Kyle Webb into the backfield behind him. He's the lone back. Protection from Webb. Throw by Blair. Down left and over the outstretched arms of the intended receiver, who was Colton Hebring. Hebring, a wide receiver. Pretty rangy. Look like he's got about 6'2", 6'3" in terms of height, but that pass was way overthrown.
Yeah, overthrown. A pretty good decision by Blair where he put the ball, but the placement just a little off as far as depth goes. And again, Holman sitting in that cover too. They're blitzing those linebackers, and that was a great throw right up the seam, just couldn't connect.
So again, they will have to punt. High snap. And the boot there by Blair. Fielded by Martinez at midfield. Makes it through one tackle, but eventually brought down at the 43-yard line of Chi-Hi. And that's where the Vikings will pick up with their 3rd drive of the game.
Durand up 16-0 on West Salem in the first quarter. That score just updated. And Prairie du Chien up 7-0 over Logan.
Durand is a heck of a football team.
Yes,
for a school that size, they have got some big-time talent.
Or excuse me, Aquinas is playing Prairie du Chien. That's my bad right there.
So the Vikings again, the full house backfield, and Tyler Anderson. He still has it, being dragged down from behind. Nice stop by the Chi-Hi defense as Deshaun Beatty got him from behind, senior.
So Prairie du Chien up 7-0 on Aquinas, and La Crosse Logan down 7-0 against Eau Claire Memorial.
A long one. Call it 1.5 there on the carry by Anderson. Clock continues to tick. They'll get one more playoff here for the end of the first quarter. Anderson taking his time, though, chatting to the backs. Now he sets up under center. He'll make sure this is the last play of the first quarter. And he fumbles the snap. I believe he got back down on top of it, but it'll be right back to the line of scrimmage and end our first quarter of play. The Holman Vikings have a 14-0 lead on the Chippewa Falls Cardinals here at Empire Stadium. We'll be back with more football, the second quarter of play. It is high school football's game of the week here on the Coulee Region Sports Network.
Qualifications and rules apply. See institution for details.
Bill, where are we going? We're trying to find my ATM.
We just passed an ATM.
But that's not my ATM. I lose $4 if it's not my ATM.
Make any ATM your ATM. Introducing free Kasasa Checking with monthly rewards like cash and ATM fees back in your pocket. Visit trykasasa.com. Kasasa.
Kasasa, now at Coulee Bank. Member FDIC.
Builders Flooring in Onalaska is the place to go for the best selection of wood flooring, tile, natural stone, carpet, laminate, and vinyl. Builders Flooring is conveniently located at 1009 2nd Avenue Southwest, just north of Nutbush in Onalaska. The expansive showroom is open to the public Monday through Friday from 8 to 5, or by calling 608-779-5366 for a special after-hours or weekend appointment. Builders Flooring in Onalaska is a proud supporter of Coulee Region Athletics. Builders Flooring, flooring experts, so you don't have to be.
Jones Construction, specializing in residential remodeling. If it is in or on your house, Jones Construction can fix it, update it, or add on to it. Kitchens and bathrooms, countertops and backsplashes, windows and doors, siding and decks, you name it, Jones Construction can do it. Owner-operator means hands-on from start to finish. Fully licensed and insured with over 20 years experience. Contact Phil with Jones Construction today, 608-386-8292.
Back to action from Empire Stadium as Anderson back in throws. A wobbler that could be intercepted. Not, though. It gets just over the secondary and out of bounds for an incomplete pass. And Scotty, they go to the air on the first play here of the second quarter. But now it's going to put them in a situation where they're going to have to kick.
Yeah, and a good pressure by Chi High that time as Gabe Solberg coming off the edge made Anderson throw that ball quicker than he wanted to. And like you said, Rick, you know, usually Anderson a little bit more accurate on his throws, but that time the pressure got to him. Holman's going to have to punt.
Kind of a wobbler, and Rudy will be back as the punter. High snap. Kick is up. Nice kick. That's going to bounce at the 20, take a Holman roll towards the sideline, and it'll be 1st and 10 from what looks to be about the 17-yard line. Chi High's own 17 as we're just underway in the second quarter. Defense, the name of the game for the Vikings here so far, and they'll get back out there to do their thing.
Yeah, the defense has been great, and penetration, I think you have to say, is the key component to Holman's attack, as the front line with all that size is really doing a number on Chippewa Falls. We talked about the size factor going in, and Chippewa Falls isn't able to establish any, I guess, any dominance in that area, as Holman's been really taking them to task and making some things happen for Chippewa Falls that they would not like to see.
So they'll break from huddle. Looks like they're going to spot that ball at the 16, so that's where they'll start out 1st down and 10. Blair under center. He's got his receivers split. Nobody in the backfield. Now he backs up and pulls Webb back behind him. We've seen that numerous times today. Here's Blair. Faces some pressure. Throws to the near sideline. Pass was too high, and Martinez gave the stick to the intended receiver, Colton Hebring, as that pass went over the outstretched arms for an incomplete pass.
Yeah, again, good pressure by Holman as they went ahead and flushed Blair out of the pocket and causing that error and throw, as wide open out there on the hash was Hebring. Good job by Martinez, though, to show that quickness and stick the receiver so he couldn't catch the ball at all.
Tiana's got a great perspective down there. She's right near the line of scrimmage, and that Holman defense getting in quickly, huh?
Yeah. Oh, you can hear me now. I've tried talking a few times. My mic's kind of acting funny. Up close and personal with the Holman Vikings right now.
Here we go back to action as Blair sending his receivers trading spots at the near sideline. Hebring in motion now to the far side. Here's the give to Webb, and the defense is right there. Instantly shooting through was Michael Wogan for a loss on the play for Chi High.
You talk about staying at home as a linebacker and knowing your gap responsibility. That right there is a clinic on coaching by Michael Wogan and the Holman coaching staff. Basically, that's a teaching tool that every high school football player can watch as a linebacker. Great play.
So the situation, 3rd and 14 here for the Cardinals. 11-10 left here in the second quarter. They're down 14-0. More motion. As they're trading all over the place. Here's Blair in the pocket. Pass up high, and again, Hebring couldn't get his hands down on it as he was covered tightly by Dylan Martinez, who is claiming that there was some contact after the play. But that'll be 4th down, 4th and 14 here for the Cardinals.
Yeah, and again, good coverage by the secondary for the Vikings right there. Martinez there step for step. And honestly, Tony Blair throwing the ball pretty good. I think his receivers just need to react a little, anticipate some of these passes a little bit better.
So they should end up with good field position again. Blair, nice snap. Blair will get the foot on it. Kicks it to the far side of the field. That takes a good Chi High bounce and eventually rolls out of bounds into Holman territory. Looks like it might have gone out about the 48-yard line, Scotty.
Yeah, and that time just angling for the sideline there was Blair and got a decent roll. And looks like, Rick, we also got some NFL action going on tonight. The Packers and the Seahawks tied at 3 in the first quarter.
So a defensive battle. How much time were these starters supposed to get in this one? Usually the 3rd preseason game is where you see a little bit more.
I don't think Rodgers is going to play more than a quarter and a half maybe. They probably don't want to get him hit. That would be my guess. But I would think that the defensive and offensive starters will probably play at least 2 quarters.
How much for Vince Young tonight?
I would say 4th quarter.
All right. So the Holman Vikings again with the football. They start out in great field position. Here's Dylan Martinez trying to shed a tackle, but he's taken down for a huge loss of over 10 yards on the play, and the Cardinals read that one perfectly. Martinez not happy, and plus that doesn't help that kind of average that he had of over 11 yards per carry last year.
Yeah, great play back there by Bailey Decker. We do have an injury on the field for Chippewa Falls. It looks like number 18, Kyle Zerbin, is down. around the 50-yard line being attended to by trainers.
Zerbian, a junior linebacker. If that's the correct number, Scotty said, 18.
Yep,
so it is Zerbian, but he popped up pretty good, so I think he's going to be right back there.
That was a nice little nip-up, like a professional wrestler I know by the name of The Rock. Yeah, the nip-up going there.
You can't make it through one webcast without mentioning WWE, can you?
I got him following him on Twitter, too, while I'm looking at scores. This is awesome. It's like the greatest thing ever.
Our thanks to Phil Addis, our cameraman tonight, getting a good perspective here just beneath us at the Empire Stadium media box. Discussion on the sideline there by the Holman Vikings, and boy, their defense has definitely been solid, but they lose 7 yards on the play as Martinez hasn't seen much of the rock in the backfield there, and they snuffed it out right away. So 2nd and 17, clock ticking, 10:26 left here in the second quarter. Holman up 14-0. And they're not getting anywhere as that Chi-High defense has zeroed on in. And this time it was Mitchell Dinger who had a 1-yard touchdown plunge to give the Vikings a 13-0 lead, and was eventually capped by a Cameron Zimmerman extra point.
Good penetration that time by Chippewa Falls again, as they're really reading their gap responsibilities here after kind of seeing Holman a couple times offensively, starting to see what they're doing.
So 3rd and 17, 3rd and long here for the Vikings. Anderson tries to draw him off with a snap count, and he'll carry it himself down the near sideline into Chippewa Falls territory, but short of the first down. Probably going to mark that one at the 47. Looks like 46, actually, is where they're going to drop that football. So a nice pickup as Anderson continues to add yards, but it's going to be 4th and 7 here for the Vikings.
Holman's coaching staff going conservative, keeping the ball on the ground and playing this field position battle with Chippewa Falls. I think it's a smart move at this point in the game.
Snap was good. Kick there by Rooney. Going to bounce at the 15 and continue to roll all the way down to the 6. A great job by Greg Rooney on special teams tonight, not only on the kickoffs with a couple of touchbacks, but some booming punts.
Yeah, and Holman continues to win that battle, and if they do that throughout this game, Rick, I think it could be a long night for the Cardinals. This is a big possession here for Chippewa Falls. Is honestly, I would say, and I think you would agree, Holman's defense has really controlled the tempo in this game.
9:03 left here in the first half. It was the Holman Vikings on the board first. A 14-yard interception return by Dylan Martinez. Zimmerman the extra point good, and then the fullback Dinger ran it in from 1 yard out on a touchdown plunge after a big turnover by Chippewa Falls. Blair dangerously into the shotgun at his own goal line. Trades his tight end to the near side. He's got one lone back. He'll look for that as his blocker. In the end zone, he gets hammered, the ball knocked back and past the end zone and out. Look at that pressure by the Holman Vikings, Scotty.
Greg Rooney off the edge again, and that big body gets that big 6'5" frame, that paw up there. And, man, I thought for a second there volleyball was out here on the field as he just swatted that back. And Chippewa Falls right now, Rick, according to some statisticians,
Easy for you to say.
Yeah, -8 yards so far in this game. -8.
So a tough offensive start for Chippewa Falls. And Blair again backed up to his own end zone. Had his last pass slammed right back in his face and out of the end zone. Again, his 1 yard line. Drops into the end zone. Quick step drop. Gets that pass off and connects enough for a first down up to the 20-yard line as he hits the intended receiver, Drew Steinmetz, for the first time today. So as Scotty gives you the statistician quotes, it's one of the first downs here for the Cardinals.
Yeah, and that was a good seam route right there by Steinmetz, and good read by Blair, good pass. Mismatch on the linebacker.
Ball up to the 20. Quick pass, not on target, and it was, I believe, a forward pass,
yes.
Although he wanted to make sure as he ran to the sidelines there. Dalton West was the intended receiver. Haven't seen much from him so far. Expected, based on the limited stats we saw from last year, that he might be a key player.
Yeah, no doubt, and a lot of running backs, a lot of talent coming back for Chippewa Falls, but so far the Holman defense just doing a good job of playing within their zones and just doing a really good job of containing the Cardinal offense.
So it'll be 2nd down and 13. And back into the shotgun goes Blair. Got that spread offense rolled out again. Blair with time, throws it down the near sideline and hits his receiver right on target. Hebring continues on his feet deep into Holman territory. Down at the 19, maybe call it the 18-yard line. Biggest play of the game for the Cardinals. We've said that Blair has thrown some nice deep balls, and this time he finally got it right into the hands of Hebring.
He got some time. He stepped up. Nice throw, and Hebring doing a good job of tracking that ball with Martinez's hand right in his face, and big play for the Cardinals.
Tianna, big play there as the Chippewa Falls Cardinals now finally out of your view as they're down into Holman territory. That was a heck of a play right there by the quarterback, Blair.
It was a great throw and a nice run. Nice to see them get some yardage, and I think they might feel a little more comfortable about their position on the field right now.
And it looks like the Vikings maybe going to talk things over after that big, deep play as they finally are going to have to play a little bit of defense inside their own territory. Haven't seen the football in their end much. When we did, there was a turnover, and, of course, the Vikings were able to make them pay with a 14-0 lead.
Yeah, and I want to see how they react to this, Rick, because like you said, we haven't seen Holman back in their own red zone per se, as now Chippewa Falls starting to knock on the door a little bit. But, again, one big play sometimes can change the momentum, and Holman's got to be on their heels defensively here.
So this discussion continues, and we can take a look at what's coming up on the schedule as teams kind of getting their out-of-conference games out of the way here early. And I know Scotty's been keeping an eye on what's happening around the league tonight. Of course, it's New Prague next week. Minnesota team, 4-3 last year was New Prague. That game will be on the 29th, so that's actually going to be a Thursday night game. And then it'll be at Onalaska on the 6th for the Holman Vikings. All right, Blair back again into the shotgun. 3 receivers right, 2 left. Here he rolls to the right side. Looking downfield, trying to place it perfectly. Good coverage there by Dinger as that pass goes incomplete.
Yeah, Dininger right there, right stride for stride with the receiver for Chippewa Falls, and a good job just staying with it right there. And again, he looked back for the ball, Rick. He's learned from that earlier mistake in this game.
So I haven't seen him go towards what was their top receiver last year in Jacob Olsen. That's the first throw to Olsen, and that was incomplete. 8:26 left here in the second quarter. Holman up 14-0. 2nd down and 10. Blair under center again. Will move Webb to the backfield. And he'll look downfield. Quick pressure by Wogan. Wraps him up and throws him down for the sack. Wogan comes right in and buries Blair for a loss.
Yeah, Cole Baldwin right there, the left tackle, got totally burned. Great first step quickness by Wogan getting in the backfield. Good technique to wrap him up and throw him down, Rick.
So the student section with Hawaiian theme night. Is that right? Hawaiian theme night tonight, Tianna? Is that the accurate call here? I know that there's a lot of lays and people wearing their swimsuits on top of their clothes kind of thing.
I was going with the Hawaiian theme. I didn't verify that, but I saw some swimsuits. I see some coconut bras in there.
Okay.
Very festive for the weather we've been having. Nice and hot.
Yes, indeed.
How about roast pig?
I don't see a roast pig anywhere. All right. Here's Blair again, looking downfield. He'll go right side. It's going to be close, and the outstretched arms of Olsen couldn't get it there. And it's incomplete. So it'll be 4th down and 17 here for Chi High. 7:31 left here in the first half.
Yeah, Dininger again with the coverage, and good job staying with Olsen. Olsen probably maybe the speedier of the receivers here for Chippewa Falls. Their stride for stride. Score update coming out of, I believe, Central, as they're up 14-0 now on Eau Claire North.
Another team that's expected to be tough. Yes, they've faced some big injuries.
20-0 now, just updated. So Central 20-0.
Losing their prospected starting quarterback in Halverson, and Ben Faga's injury to his elbow that he received during baseball. Here's the punt by Blair. Oh, that's an ugly punt, end over end. Made it about 10 yards and out of bounds. He wishes he had that one back.
Yeah, and again, a field position battle given Holman. just even a couple yards, that could be costly. And you were talking about that quarterback situation for Central, Rick. Mitchell Johnson in relief tonight, 77 rushing yards and 2 touchdowns tonight for Central.
And that was the switch to Mitchell at quarterback. Of course, he's a very talented defensive player, and then you put him, I think anywhere you put him, he's going to have success. So 1st and 10 here for the Vikings as Anderson gets in under center. Holman with a 14-0 lead. A little misdirection again on that triple option. Going to pull forward for a pickup of about 5 as Anderson takes it himself, trying to get near 100 yards for the half.
Aquinas and Prairie du Chien now tied up at 7.
So 2nd down and 5 here for Holman. Clock ticking under the 7-minute mark left here in the first half. Cardinals with a big defensive stand last series. Holman's been struggling offensively here in the last 2 series, and again plunging forward for maybe 1 on the play, and nothing exciting about the offense right now, but all it takes is 1 big explosive play.
Right.
Big question mark so far in my mind is where's Dylan?
Yeah, I think they're really trying to set that up with those inside runs for his speed, Rick. And so far, Chippewa Falls has been able to seal the edge. So they're staying conservative with that 14-0 lead. The other question is they haven't really thrown the football that much either to kind of keep Chippewa Falls on their heels. A lot of running right up the middle right now for Holman.
It's like another timeout going to be called. Let's take a quick break here, and we'll come back with more action with 6:16 left in the first half. Holman 14, Chippewa Falls nothing. It's high school football game of the week on the Coulee Region Sports Network.
Hi, this is Mike, and I'm with Scott the Culligan Man. Scott, I've already got a water softener.
Yeah, but Mike, how do you know it's working? Give us a call. We can come out and do a tune-up. We'll test the water, we'll check the settings, give it a resin cleaning, deliver 2 bags of salt. You should be good to go. And all for $39.95. Doesn't matter what make or model you've got, we can give it a tune-up.
Culligan will tune up any brand of water softener for just $39.95. Call or visit CulliganLacrosse.com. Better water, pure and simple, limited time offer.
Rick and Scotty back at Empire Stadium. Holmen, Wisconsin, a beautiful setting for high school football under the lights. And the Holman Vikings with a 14-0 lead with 6:16 remaining. 3 yards to go for a first down here. 3rd down and 3 with the ball spotted at the 32, Holman's own 32. See if they go up the middle. No, dropping back to passes Anderson. Little pressure in the pocket. He's going to be sacked for a loss. 31-yard line is where he'll settle down. And a loss of 2 on the play. So it'll be 4th and 3 here with the clock continuing to tick. So Holman's offense sputtering out in the last 2 series. Chippewa Falls defense definitely stepping it up, getting good interior pressure.
Yeah, good play by Brett Olson right there. You know, number 37 off the edge, and that time coming from his D-tackle spot, some good penetration to make that play. Rick, I think there was a Twitter error by WXOW.
Uh-oh.
Because West Salem's up 24-0 on Durand. Last time they had Durand up 14-zip.
Wow. How about that? Goes the other direction. That kick bounces to the 38. And that is where the Chi-High Cardinals will start out 1st down and 10. 5:32 left here in the first half, trailing 14-0. So if you heard Scotty just mention, he had stated that Durand was up big time on West Salem, but apparently that's not the case.
No, West Salem is up big, 24-zip. Westby up 21-0 on Richland Center, another big lopsided score. And Aquinas now has taken the lead at Prairie du Chien, 14-7.
All right, there you go. A little update. As Scotty is following the Twitter. He hasn't tweeted himself yet tonight, but he definitely is following it.
I ain't got no time for that.
Looks like they're going to move the football up as there was a flag thrown down on the field. Are you going to take it back and re-kick it here or what? What are they going to do here?
I'm not sure.
Again, the 2 scores of the game. Dylan Martinez, a 14-yard interception return for a touchdown, a pick 6, and then it was the fullback for the Holman Vikings, Mitchell Dinger, who scored, the junior. He ends up with a 1-yard touchdown plunge. And both touchdowns capped by Cam Zimmerman extra points right between the uprights. So good field position here as Blair hands off to Webb. Webb, though, shoestring tackle.
Wow.
Coming in quickly and making the play. Chris Magnuson showing that speed.
I remember Steve King talking about Chris Magnuson at our high school preview special, or the football preview special.
Which you
over
can
at
still
Howie's.
watch.
And he talked about Magnuson, and he expected a lot from him this season, and tonight he is showing that spark.
So a loss on the play of 1 on the tackle by Magnuson. Second down at 11 for Blair and the Chi-High offense. Again, working the spread offense. One lone back, that's Webb. He's been busiest player today. Blair's got a good arm. Fires it down the left sideline. Not on target. Almost intercepted by Dylan Peterson. Stretched the arms out, just missed it. He's frustrated with himself.
Yeah, Martinez right there going right down and playing that deep cover 3. Good positioning by Martinez, and he read that ball, almost got an easy pick right there. Another good throw from Blair, though.
He's got a good arm.
Yes, he does.
I mean, he's just missing. You know, he did hook up that one time on the long pass to Colton Hebring, the biggest play of the game for the Chippewa Falls Cardinals. So third down and 11 here with Blair out of the shotgun again. 4:51 left. Here's Blair. Keeps it himself. Gets tackled before he can get the first down marker, knocked down at about the 37-yard line. So it'll be a fourth down situation here, and you're looking at about 5 to go.
Holman now substituting some people in and out as Jared Banks comes in. Sophomore, 6'2", 225-pound linebacker on that play.
We'll probably be looking at a few new names here, especially towards the end of this first half and then maybe throughout parts of the second half, depending. But it looks like another timeout here as things have gone a little slow here as of late. Fourth down and 7 yards to go with the ball at the Holman 37-yard line. This fourth down situation, most likely you're going to see Chi-High go for it, I think.
Yeah, I mean, with the field position and them not really being in position to score throughout this game, I mean, had to take the opportunities where you got them. Holman's defense, for the most part, in this first half has probably been the story of this game to this point. So, I mean, for them to maybe get some momentum going into maybe the end of the second, going into halftime into the third, I mean, that's something you would have to look at if you're the coaching staff for Chi-High.
While we have this timeout, I'd like to thank one of our newest title sponsors in Smokies Bar and Grill in Holman, a great place to go. After the game tonight, you head on over to Smokies and
where we're going?
Kick back, and Jen and the crew over there at Smokies will take care of you.
Is that where we're going?
I think so. Yeah, those Bears are playing the late game against the Raiders. Now, I know a lot of people out there probably not Bears fans, but growing up in Chicago, it's a hard thing to shake.
It is still 3-3, by the way, Packers and Seahawks.
Packers-Seahawks 3-3, preseason football. Here it's 14-0 in favor of the Vikings. And yes, Blair and the Cardinals going for it here, 4th and 7. Here's Blair in the pocket. Intercepted over the middle. And on his feet is Kyle Coble. Coble knocked down at the 35-yard line. He gets the interception. It's Vikings football.
Coble right there just doing a good job as Chi-High's been running that seam route, Rick, and they tried it again. And that time, Holman again playing a little bit of a soft cover 2 zone with the linebackers, threw it right to Coble. I don't even think Blair saw him.
Coble, one of those substitutions you were talking about that Coach King made, a sophomore defensive back. He was in the right place at the right time and made the play. It's, for inexperienced guys, for guys like, the sophomores that don't get a tremendous amount of playing time, they have a situation like that and then follow through it. That's big, and it stands in the mind of your coach.
That's right. Get that experience. Get some more playing time.
So the Vikings football, plenty of time to get a drive going here with a 14-0 lead here in the second quarter. There's the give up the middle, and Dinger just blasts through up to the 42 and a pickup of 5 on the play, maybe 6.
I think Holman showing a different look here, spreading out Chi-High's defense. We'll maybe see more of that here on this drive. We'll see.
Tianna on the sidelines for us, Tianna Vanderhei, and watching it from up close and personal. Vikings on the move towards your end. Here's Anderson with the give up the middle, and that's going to be very close to a first down, but I think just shy. You're looking at a pickup of 4 on the play. And that was Dinger again.
Now, unlike Scotty, I am tweeting from the sideline, so if anyone wants to follow my Twitter account, they can get updates on Holman. That's at Miss Lacrosse 12, all lowercase.
Yes,
I think I can type a little faster than him, too.
I bet you could, because your fingers are like a quarter of the size of either one of us. I have a tough time with the whole texting thing.
Excuses, it's all right.
Texting while play-by-play broadcasting doesn't work for this
Speaking of sausages, I can smell them.
Here's a give up the middle, and it was a first down on the last play. It looked like a give, but that fake with the triple option, Anderson keeper, and he gets knocked down back at the line of scrimmage. So not much there. Clock continues to tick.
Couple score updates. Our Eau Claire Memorial's taking the lead over Logan, 14-7 now, and Caledonia just got on the board, but they're losing to Chatfield, 12-7.
A little scoring update. Tianna is the reigning Miss Lacrosse Oktoberfest, and of course there's going to be lots of festivities coming up with Oktoberfest right around the corner. Last 2-week process, right, of Oktoberfest?
I don't like to talk about it. But yes, we're going to go down to a 4-day festival next year, going back to the roots and celebrating tradition more. It'll benefit the community more. A
complete pass there from Anderson as he hooks up with Chris Magnuson on a short route to the near sideline, and it's not going to be enough for a first down, but it will put the Vikings in a position for a 3rd down and 3.
Vikings mixing it up a little bit more offensively, showing some more spread out looks and quick passing game.
So just 2:36 remaining here in the first half. Vikings on the move with a 14-0 lead. Ball now in Chi-High territory. Anderson under center. He'll take it left side and be stacked up very close to a first down, but looks to be short by maybe half a yard. So that'll be a 4th and short situation here as the clock will continue to tick here for the Vikings.
Yeah, good play by Amos Mayberry, and I think he's the leader for this Chippewa Falls defense. He's had a couple nice plays tonight, Rick, and I tell you what, if you give him a second to read that football, he's just as good as Noah Risch from what I've seen.
Anderson with unofficially up over 80 yards here in the first half. Rushing. Passing, not a lot of it. So 4th and 1, and the Vikings going for it here. It's give right side. Dinger continues on his feet, rumbles up to about the 33 of Chi-High. That'll move the sticks, and Holman with an opportunity to add some late points here in the first half.
Great block by Greg Rooney on the edge, sealing the outside linebacker, springing that run by Deininger and showing good power there, Rick. And as a running back, that's one thing, break that tackle and keep that head moving.
Deinger's been the guy who's gotten the ball much more than Dylan Martinez tonight, and he showed his power right there and why he's the fullback on this team. Anderson, quick step drop, throws right, got his receiver. Magnuson hit out of bounds, picks up a few on the play, maybe 4, but stops the clock most importantly.
Don't be surprised here if they try to hit Greg Rooney, big 6'5" body going right down the seam against a safety maybe to get a quick score in before the half, the way they're setting this offense up.
Yet to target Rooney here in this one. Rooney's been big in the special teams department and defensively, recovering a fumble. So 2nd down and 8, pickup of just 2. Students doing something here. I'm not sure what they got going on. Here's the throw by Anderson down the right sideline. That's not even close as it's thrown out of bounds. Incomplete. You're right, though. They were going for Greg Rooney on that play.
Yeah, they're just trying to set something up here for the big guy, and why not? I mean, you look at that 6'5" frame, I'd have him go against pretty much anybody in that secondary for Chippewa Falls, a la you look at size factors and other aspects of football. Usually size wins, especially a guy like Rooney that's a pretty good athlete and get up when he needs to.
3rd down and 8. Ball at the 31 of Chippewa Falls. 1:24 remaining here in the first half. Vikings up 14-0. Trying to add some insurance here late in the half. Here's the give to Deininger. Plunge forward. Only gets a couple on the play. Clock will continue to roll.
Man, I tell you what, WKTY and WXOW got to do a better job sending their scores out, Rick. Hate to call them out here.
You finding some errors or something?
Yeah, now they changed it. Durand is ahead of West Salem, 24-7. They even say right here, another correction. So Durand is winning, 24-7 at halftime over West Salem.
Well, that is Are you saying that they maybe are just they shouldn't be tweeting, or is that?
I'm not saying that.
All right, here's a pass left side. Martinez is there. He catches the football. He's still on his feet. Rumbles down close to the end zone. He'll be tackled at the 1. A huge play. Anderson is down, though. It looks like he took a hit right after he delivered the beautiful pass to Martinez. And the trainer's out to take a look at the Holman quarterback.
Yeah, he took a shot when he delivered that football. A nice wheel route by Dylan Martinez and a great catch.
And they're trying to stretch his knee a little bit. That's not good, as he's going to be carried off. As you can see, Phil Addis doing a great job on camera tonight, getting that in the shot for you. And obviously, we will be checking in with Tianna when we can to see if she can get some information on what the injury is. It obviously does look like a knee based on the positioning.
Yeah, and he's just not putting any weight on that left leg at all. And enter Cameron Zimmerman here, the junior quarterback.
So Cam Zimmerman, who is the place kicker, is in at quarterback. He'll try to take it up over center, and it looks like the Cardinals stacked the line. Haven't seen anything from the officials in terms of arms raised, so they're going to be short. Clock continuing to tick. 20 seconds remaining. They got to get up to the line of scrimmage here as fast as they possibly can and get another playoff, down the ball or do something so they can get a play that they have some time to get in. Here's Zimmerman. Plunge again forward and still trying. Martinez says that he's in. The officials have not signaled touchdown yet. Still waiting to hear. Haven't seen arms raised yet. Have you, Scotty?
No, I haven't. I think that they stopped them. And I think that's the end of the half, too.
It does appear that the Chi-High Cardinals will get some momentum heading into our second half of play with a big goal line stand after an injury to Vikings starting quarterback Tyler Anderson, which we'll get some more information on coming up as Tianna Vanderhei in our halftime show, which is brought to you by Lloyd's Pizza. And Scotty, I know we're going to be talking about Lloyd's Pizza coming up here in the halftime show. We'll take a quick break. We'll be back with our halftime. We'll recap the scores here. We'll recap scores around Coulee Region football tonight. This is the high school football game of the week here on the Coulee Region Sports Network.
Hi, I'm Ryan. I'm the owner of Howie's, and I love talking to my guests, and I love making new friends.
You know, it's kind of just refreshing to actually have a nice, upbeat restaurant with refreshing food. I have never gotten the same thing twice. I always just try something else new on the menu. The burgers are fantastic, and the melts are delicious.
Even if you've been to Howie's, you've never been to Howie's.
Night and day difference. It's nice to come to a place like this.
La Crosse's new favorite restaurant, Howie's on La Crosse Street.
Qualifications and rules apply. See institution for details.
I just changed banks. Have you ever considered switching?
No, I don't need to switch. I just got them to lower my monthly service fee to $8.
Service fee? My bank doesn't charge service fees.
Introducing free Kasasa checking. No monthly service fee, plus you can get cash or extra savings and refunds on ATM charges. Try Kasasa.com. K-A-S-A-S-A.
Kasasa, now at Coulee Bank. Member FDIC.
Ever think that you could do what these guys are doing right now on CRSN? Ever dreamed about having a career in sports broadcasting? There are good jobs right now for play-by-play announcers, sportscasters, and sports directors at great radio stations all over the country. At Radio 1 Broadcast School in La Crosse, you can get trained and ready for your new radio job. Get on our website, radio1school.com. That's radio1school.com.
Rick and Scotty back at Empire Stadium in Holmen, Wisconsin, as it looks like they've got parents and players together out on the field doing halftime presentations, and obviously you'll hear the public address announcer in the background. Tianna's going to be working on getting information on that Tyler Anderson injury, and obviously that looked like a leg injury, Scotty, and we're hoping the best.
Yeah, they're still working on him over here on the sideline, Rick, so hopefully we can get some good news on Tyler Anderson. So much promise for him going into the season here for the Holman Vikings.
And this, your Lloyd's Pizza halftime show, and if you haven't tried Lloyd's Pizza, it's one of the best pizzas in town, and it is a local pizza. We're talking Lloyd's Speed Stop Pizza, locally owned and operated out of West Salem and Bangor. Lloyd's has some of the best classics like the pepperoni. It's thick, or thin crust, either way, whichever way you like it. You got the sausage in thick and thin crust as well. The deluxe with all the goodies on top. Can also try some of Lloyd's other flavors like the favorite Chicago-style sausage, which I happen to have about 4 of them stocked in my freezer right now, Scotty.
Yeah, that's. I tell you what, I've tried a lot of pizzas around this area, obviously, if you look at me. But I would say the Chicago-style sausage, Lloyd's Pizza, is one of the best you can find in this area by far.
Phil gave a thumbs up for your critique on yourself there, for your stature. Double thumbs up.
Yeah, double thumbs up.
You like it, but the Lloyd's Pizza is fantastic, and you can get a little daring, too. You can go with the chicken Alfredo pizza. They got a chicken cheddar, a bacon ranch, the meaty pizza, the veggie delight, the bacon cheeseburger, steak Alfredo, and then a fitting one for tonight for the student section, the Aloha special.
Yeah, no question. You're going a little John Gruden on me there for a second, the way you were talking. You sound a little Gruden-ish.
Was I getting a little crazy?
Yeah, and you can find those, Rick, those pizzas. They're pretty much everywhere. Most local grocery stores, all 7 Hanson's IGA locations, Bangor, West Salem, Sparta, Cashton, Westby, Elroy, and Neillsville, Woodman's in Onalaska, all the festival food stores in this area, that is Onalaska, the Copeland, the Village locations in La Crosse, also festival right up the road here in Holmen, and Clippers Food Liner in Whitehall.
And Scotty, tell the people where they can go if they want to go to Lloyd's Pizza Pub.
Yeah, you can go off of right off Interstate 90, Buell Road in West Salem. It's the building with Lloyd's Speed Stop, Coney Island, and Subway. Grab a slice. They also have adult libations there, so you can relax after any event. So very good and so very local. Lloyd's Speed Stop Pizza. Got to grab a slice today, Rick.
All right, there you go. Scotty talking pizza. We're obviously lovers of the Lloyd's Pizza. We also like that the Holman Vikings have a 14-0 lead after half, but it could be much larger. The offense sputtering just a little bit on the move here towards the very end of that first half, Scotty, with a 14-0 lead after a Dylan Martinez 14-yard interception return for a touchdown. And then they end up pounding one in from just a yard out after a nice setup there as Tyler Anderson was running the football. He had about 80-plus yards in the first half before suffering the injury, which we're still trying to get some info on. Mitchell Dinger was the guy who pounded it in from 1 yard out, and then, of course, Cam Zimmerman, who's now in at quarterback, got both extra points, kicking him right between the uprights.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see, too, because you got to assume the way that injury was rolling here, that he, as in Tyler Anderson, probably isn't going to be back, Rick. That would be my guess at this point, but you never know. So training staff Holman trying to look at him, but again, the defense of the Vikings has really been the catalyst in this game, causing a lot of havoc. And, yeah, we've seen some pretty good throws from Tony Blair, but overall, I would have to say the Viking defense is as good as advertised in the first half.
Lloyd's halftime show, Lloyd's Pizza, and obviously there's other scores around the Mississippi Valley Conference and the Coulee and all over the place. Of course, last night football was played in your alma mater, the Bangor Cardinals, with a big victory against Melrose Mindoro, the Mustangs.
36-0, a dominating win, and 3 turnovers, Rick, and 2 of them going for touchdowns, interception returns. And we talked about one guy, a running back by the name of J.J. Hunt. Well, last night at 140 yards in the first half, finished with a $148 and a touchdown for the Cardinals. Caleb Miller, the quarterback, 3 of 6, 52 yards and a touchdown, and one of those interceptions for a touchdown. So last night, the Bangor defense, really the catalyst to really set up the offense for success, because Melrose Mindoro actually outgained Bangor 269 to 186. So really, if you look at it, the defense was really the key for the Cardinals last night.
And, of course, they can always run the football. You know that.
Yes, they can.
Other scores around the area tonight, Scotty, what do you got for us?
Well, as of right now, as I'm trying to kind of load here as we go, and my phone's doing some crazy stuff, so I'm trying to keep up with it here. But Durand is up 24-7 over West Salem at the half, like we said. Eau Claire Memorial over Logan, 20-7 at halftime. Central 28, Eau Claire North nothing. And keep on going through here as we're looking at some scores. Like we said, Westby up 21-0 over Richland Center. Caledonia took the lead, 13-12 over Chatfield right before the half. So now the Warriors back on top. And keep on going through. I mean, a lot of action in the Coulee region tonight, Rick. Like we said, 7-7. Arcadia still tied. Aquinas up 14-7 over Prairie du Chien right now. So again, we'll just keep you updated on the scores as they come, as they're coming in fast and furious right now.
Want to get a quick visit down on the field as Tianna Vanderhei is down there, and I know that you were going to investigate with the Holman staff in terms of the Tyler Anderson injury, and we've got some word up here that it's a left knee injury. Do you have any more information for us, Tianna?
No, he wasn't putting pressure on his left knee when he came off. From a standpoint, he obviously was in pain. I could tell him when he laid down, he was closing his eyes and kept grabbing his leg. He did, however, walk back by the team after a little bit on his knee. So he is putting pressure on that, so we know it's not too bad. Hopefully he can shake it off.
I'm understanding that his return is questionable. That, according to the Vikings staff, and obviously we hope the best for him. He had nearly 100 yards in the first half there based off of the numbers that I've been keeping track of, and obviously that drive towards the very end kind of fizzled out when he left the game.
Yeah, I mean, the trainer kept scolding him, telling him not to move and not to put pressure on it. Obviously, in that situation, until you find out exactly what it is, you don't want to move it. You want to stay stationary and make sure you're not going to harm it even more than it already is, because they want him back in the game. So, again, hopefully it's nothing too bad.
Tianna Vanderhei from the field here, reporting and letting us know more on the Tyler Anderson injury, left knee, and the return is questionable. Scotty, any other scores here in the Lloyd's Pizza halftime show?
Yeah, Merrill up 36-6 over on Alaska. That score just updating, and that's still in the second quarter. So Merrill putting a shellacking on the Hilltoppers here so far in this one.
Ouch for the Hilltoppers. That's not the kind of start that Coach Yashinsky wanted, but again, still a lot of football to be played in the second half.
Packer defense playing quite well against Seattle, according to what I'm reading tonight. 3-3 tie, where there's an interception by Casey Hayward. Clay Matthews got a sack on Russell Wilson, so that's a good sign for Packer fans early in the season.
We'll take another break here in our Lloyd's Pizza halftime show, and we'll be ready for second half of football here from Empire Stadium. Again, after one half of play, it is the Holman Vikings 14 and Chippewa Falls nothing. This is the high school football game of the week right here on the Coulee Region Sports Network.
Hey, Culligan man.
Oh, that's me. You know you need soft water and you don't know where to start? Well, give us a call. We've got a $10 a month, 6-month home trial. We'll come out, test the water, and check the plumbing to see what you need and give you a price. Don't get stuck with something from the big box that no one will service or help you with.
Better water, pure and simple. Let Culligan prove it. Rent for just $10 a month for a 6-month home trial. Call or visit CulliganLacrosse.com. Limited time offer.
Qualifications and rules apply.
Who's this?
Yeah! Yeah! That just happened! Yes, it did.
No!
Yeah! Yes, 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 yes! Yes! We did it! Yes, we did! Yeah, we did it! Yeah, see you, bud.
Later.
Honey, who was that?
Who, that guy? I don't know. Get caught up in the excitement. Buffalo Wild Wings. Wings, beer, sports.
Hey, who's this?
Yeah! Yeah! That just happened! Yes, it did.
Switch. I just got them to lower my monthly service fee to $8.
Service fee? My bank doesn't charge service fees.
Introducing free Kasasa checking. No monthly service fee, plus you can get cash or extra savings and refunds on ATM charges. Try Kasasa.com. Kasasa.
Kasasa, now at Coulee Bank. Member FDIC.
Smokies in downtown Holmen is a great place to meet up with friends and family after any event. Smokies offers food and drink specials throughout the week to start your evening off right. Smokies offers great atmosphere and awesome entertainment like karaoke every Wednesday night with Rose Sabota. Also, Rose will be at Smokies Friday night, September 13th. On Friday, September 20th, live music with the Cheap Charlie Band, and Saturday, September 21st, a blues band from Milwaukee called 3rd Street. Start your weekend off right at Smokies by the Holman Meat Locker and Metropolitan Salon, downtown Holman.
Jones Construction, specializing in residential remodeling. If it is in or on your house, Jones Construction can fix it, update it, or add on to it. Kitchens and bathrooms, countertops and backsplashes, windows and doors, siding and decks, you name it, Jones Construction can do it. Owner-operator means hands-on from start to finish. Fully licensed and insured with over 20 years experience. Contact Phil with Jones Construction today, 608-386-8292.
Hi, I'm Ryan. I'm the owner of Howie's, and I love talking to my guests, and I love making new friends.
You know, it's kind of just refreshing to actually have a nice, upbeat restaurant with refreshing food. I have never gotten the same thing twice. I always just try something else new on the menu. The burgers are fantastic, and the melts are delicious.
Even if you've been to Howie's, you've never been to Howie's.
Night and day difference. It's nice to come to a place like this.
La Crosse's new favorite restaurant, Howie's on La Crosse Street.
Ever think that you could do what these guys are doing right now on CRSN? Ever dreamed about having a career in sports broadcasting? There are good jobs right now for play-by-play announcers, sportscasters, and sports directors at great radio stations all over the country. At Radio 1 Broadcast School in La Crosse, you can get trained and ready for your new radio job. Get on our website, radio1school.com. That's radio1school.com.
I will conquer my opponent. Defeat will not be in my creed. I will believe where others have doubted. I will always uphold the prestige, honor, and respect of my team. I have trained my mind and my body will follow. Who am I? I'm a champion. I will acknowledge the fact that my opponent does not expect me to win, but I will never surrender. Weakness will not be in my heart. I will arrive at the cutting edge of battle and win by any means at my disposal. I accept the fact that my team expects me to move faster and fight harder than our opponent. Never shall I fail my teammates. I will always keep myself mentally alert, physically strong, and morally straight. And I will shoulder more than my share of the task, whatever it may be, 100%. Who am I? I'm a champion. Gallantly will I show the world that I am a specially selected and well-trained warrior. My heart and my soul will be the fuel to carry my body when my limbs are too weary. I will never falter. I will never lose focus. As long as there is hope in my mind and my heart still beats, I will never give in to the evil that is weakness, and I will fight that evil with my dying breath. Who am I? I'm a champion. Energetically will I meet my opponent. They will not challenge me. They will not stop me from my goal. I shall defeat them on the field of battle, for I am better trained and will fight with all of my might. Defeat, retreat are not a champion's words. I will never leave anything but the very best on the field with my teammates. And under no circumstances will I ever surrender. Who am I? I'm a champion. Readily will I display the discipline and strength required to fight forward to my objective and complete that objective. I will rise when I have fallen. I will rip the heart from my opponent and leave it beating on the ground because he cannot stop me. Who am I? I'm a champion. My opponent may not fear me, but he will respect me. And if he does not, I will make him respect me with all that I have to give. Who am I? I'm a champion. It's our time, not tomorrow, not next week, but right now. None will say I've not given all I have to give, and none will take my glory. Who am I? I'm a champion. History will remember me. No one will deny me. No one will define me. No one will tell me who and what I am and what I can be. Who am I? I'm a champion. 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 Who am I? I'm a champion.
High school football on CRSN between the Chippewa Falls Cardinals and the Holman Vikings, and it's presented by Cooley Bank, bank with confidence. Culligan of La Crosse, better water, pure and simple. Builders Flooring, flooring experts so you don't have to be. Jones Construction, 608-386-8292. Let the owner work for you. And Smokey's Bar and Grill. Tonight's CRSN High School Football Game of the Week is also brought to you by Howie's on La Crosse, your ultimate sports viewing venue. Carrie Bandel, State Farm Insurance, celebrate my drive. Radio 1 Broadcast School. Check them out at radio1school.com. And Buffalo Wild Wings Grill and Bar. Wings, beer, sports. From Empire Stadium in Holmen, here's Rick and Scotty.
Rick and Scotty back from Empire Stadium in Holmen, Wisconsin as we get set for second half action. We've got a few more minutes as the marching band and performers are out doing their thing and putting on a show for the fans. Great showing of support for Holmen football tonight, and the Vikings with a 14-0 lead, but a couple of things on the downside. Tyler Anderson with a left knee injury, questionable to return, so that will change up the game plan pie a little bit. as the replacement quarterback is junior Cam Zimmerman. Of course, fantastic as a place kicker, a defensive back, but now he's in the role of quarterback, and we'll see how he executes. He only had a couple of plays to work it towards the very end of the first half. They weren't able to get into the end zone to pick up that 20-0 lead.
You know, and before Anderson went out, Rick, Holman's offense was starting to get some momentum as far as just kind of mixing some plays up and showing some different looks to keep Chipa Falls on their heels, as I think Chipa Falls was starting to really read into what Holman was doing offensively and just making some good adjustments. But, you know, now you bring in Zimmerman, it's a whole different dynamic from Anderson to Zimmerman, so maybe we're going to see a little bit more number 27 to counteract the loss of Tyler Anderson would be my guess. We'll have to find out here in the second half.
There's the little vocal stylings, or should I say musical stylings, of the Holman Marching Band. Let's take a listen. Having a little fun with the fans here, as it's all part of what happens underneath the Friday Night Lights, Scotty. And, you know, we went around the area in terms of scores, a couple of disappointments. Alaska having trouble with Merrill tonight. Of course, we got the score between West Salem and Durand, of course,
the right score.
The right score.
After three of them.
A powerhouse last year, obviously looking pretty good again this year.
Yeah, and, you know, Durand just one of those teams last year that they just really skyrocketed and played some good football. You know, fell a little bit short, but, you know, they're a tough program, and it's a good test for West Salem right off the bat. A lot of teams picking West Salem to finish maybe third, fourth in that Cooley Conference, depending on how that offense stacks up. And tonight, a pretty good test for them and Durand.
Let's go down to the field, and Tianna, who is going to pop her headset back on there, and we'll get a shot of her here in a little bit. But Tianna, this was an interesting first half of football. Going to be going with a different quarterback here in the second half, we think, till the remainder, based on the left knee injury and the questionable status from the coaching staff. Obviously, this is going to be an interesting situation for the backup Cam Zimmerman. Your thoughts?
You know, both teams got off to a little rough start with a couple penalties right off the bat. Like we said, that's going to happen in an early season game, get those jitters out. It'll be interesting to see how the junior quarterback comes out, and an update on Anderson's status right now with his left knee.
Okay, checking in there with Tianna, getting the latest. And, you know, we're going to see what Cam has to offer in terms of quarterback. He wasn't probably expecting to get in the game here tonight. We'll see how long-term this injury to Anderson is. But, you know, we talked with Coach King during our roundtable there with the Mississippi Valley coaches, and you know, coming into it, there's already a couple teams missing some key players, so maybe the first ding for the Holman Vikings.
Yeah, and you know all these teams are not going to be 100% the whole season. You're going to lose some guys that you depend on, and that's, you know, when you play football, I think people, players and families know the risk of being out there and what can happen. One play, it can change the whole dynamic of your season. Tyler Anderson, one of the best quarterbacks in this area, if he's out long-term for the Holman Vikings, that really changes probably their offensive philosophy, I would think, just a little bit.
And scoring in the first quarter, that was it for this game. 14 points for the Holman Vikings, and those because of turnovers, because of the defense, and 7 of them, or 6, I should say, coming from an interception return by Dylan Martinez.
Yeah, and again, Holman's defense has been very good and very smart. They're well coached. You can see on both those, on that interception return, Rick, it was a cover 2, perfect call, maybe some miscommunication by the receiver out there, but I tell you what, Martinez took that to the house in a hurry.
And then they were able to move the football well as Tyler Anderson was rushing. I have near 80 yards in that first half, and got him in a position after the turnover where Denger could get right into the end zone and pounded it in. He's basically been the major force in terms of the running game outside of Tyler Anderson tonight.
Yeah, and, you know, it's just going to be that balance and that dynamic throughout, I guess you could say, for the season for the Vikings. Rick, a couple more scores, just so you know, just updated. Central now up 34-6.
34-6?
Yep, 34-6. And I think I just got one here from, and looks like Robert Wettstein has scored 2 touchdowns tonight for Aquinas.
It's a Wettstein wow.
Yeah, it's a Wettstein now, 21-7 over Prairie du Chien.
All right, so Aquinas and Central having good nights. Tony Service has to be pretty happy to start out that way.
Yeah, and you talked about some of the injuries going in and, Faga going down and then losing their quarterback. I mean, it's just two things that can really just hurt the psyche of any football team. But, again, Tony Service is a good coach. We talked about the depth they had at the athletic positions, the skill positions going into this season. And I tell you what, Mitchell Johnson stepping up nicely tonight in that quarterback role.
Holman Vikings in this one will be receiving here the kickoff for the second half. Right now, players just warming up. Going to take one more quick break. When we return, we'll kick off the second half. It is the high school football game of the week here from Empire Stadium in Holmen, Wisconsin on the Coulee Region Sports Network.
Builders Flooring in Onalaska is the place to go for the best selection of wood flooring, tile, natural stone, carpet, laminate, and vinyl. Builders Flooring is conveniently located at 1009 2nd Avenue Southwest, just north of Nutbush in Onalaska. The expansive showroom is open to the public Monday through Friday from 8 to 5, or by calling 608-779-5366 for a special after-hours or weekend appointment. Builders Flooring in Onalaska is a proud supporter of Coulee Region Athletics. Builders Flooring, flooring experts, so you don't have to be.
Qualifications and rules apply. See institution for details.
Bill, where are we going? We're trying to find my ATM.
We just passed an ATM.
But that's not my ATM. I lose $4 if it's not my ATM.
Make any ATM your ATM. Introducing free Kasasa checking with monthly rewards like cash and ATM fees back in your pocket. Visit trykasasa.com. Kasasa.
Kasasa, now at Coulee Bank. Member FDIC.
Rik and Scotty back at Empire Stadium, Holmen, Wisconsin, along with Tianna Vanderhei, who is our on-field reporter. We'll be checking in with her again from time to time. Phil Addis on camera tonight. We thank Phil for coming on out to Empire Stadium, doing a fantastic job when people aren't standing in front of him. But that's just part of the fan experience when you're at the top row of the bleachers. It is what it is.
It is what it is, and I'm glad that he appreciates my stature.
My thanks to the Holmen Activities Director, Mark Engler, who has set us up with waters and hot dogs. And really, this is one of the nicest media boxes around. Here's the end-over-end kick. It bounces, picked up by Martinez at the 20, cuts to the near side, and he gets stuck hard at the 25. Good special teams defense
Amos
there.
Mayberry again.
He's been big.
That guy's been all over the field, and I tell you, I've watched him throughout this game, and he is such a smart player, and he's got good instincts, and that time just shed the block and made a great tackle on 27.
So just underway in the second half, Holmen up 14-0. Heard some of the other area scores with Central leading and Aquinas up. Onalaska losing right now to Merrill. Here's the Vikings' first play with Zimmerman here, and he pitches it right. Here's Martinez with space to the outside. Gets through one tackle. He's got lightning speed. First down up to the 45. A huge pickup. 20 yards for Dylan Martinez.
Yeah, good job that time, execution of that pitch. We talked about it, Rick. I thought that might happen. Zimmerman just baiting that right there. Good pitch to the outside. Zimmerman using the speed. Great block on the outside by number 35, Greg Rooney.
One weapon down in Tyler Anderson. Now they utilize another weapon in Dylan Martinez on that pitch from Zimmerman. A big pickup, 21 yards on the carry. 1st and 10 from the 46, Holman's own 46. And fumbled the snap, and he'll pick it right back up. Got a flag thrown from the backfield. Or is that just to spot the ball when it was out of his hand? I don't see a flag down, so that's just the fumble mark. Or there it is. There is actually a flag there. Yeah, they're going to mark it back. Let's see, Scotty. Any thoughts?
No, but look who's coming back into the game for Holmen.
A questionable. It's now turned into 2 plays and right back into the game. How about that?
And that's a great sign for the Viking fans and for the Holmen Vikings in general. I mean, such a leader, and it would have been sad to see his season end on something like that.
But it does appear that they're going to move the ball back to the 36-yard line, so a big chunk of change. 1st and 21 here as Tyler Anderson back in. Handoff up the middle, and Dinger will get across the 40 to the 41, so get some of it back, chews off about 7.
Yeah, nice hole out there, and Dinger just putting his head down and getting what he can for yardage, about 6 yards. A score update from Menominee, as Menominee up 34-0 on Tomah right now.
And we knew that was going to be a tough battle. Of course, that exit, first time in 20 years in the playoffs last year in the first round, as Logan shocked him with a Hail Mary. That's going to be dropped, but picked right back up. And look at the effort. Is Magnuson going to get up to the original first down marker, out across the 45 to the 47.
Yeah, Chris Magnuson has had a very good game tonight, Rick. He's really popped on the highlight reel here for the Holman Vikings. And, you know, again, Steve King talked about him. He's a guy that needs to step up, and tonight he's showing some great athletic ability.
So it'll be 3rd down and 9 here for the Vikings. Ball at the 47, Holman's own 47. Personnel late changes here for the Cardinals. And Tyler Anderson back in the game. He fumbles it right into the hands of the Chi-High Cardinals, and that's going to be a turnover. Little fumbles and bumbles here for the Vikings in this particular sequence, and it looks like the Chi-High Cardinals are going to recover that ball. Look, it went right into the hands of the defensive tackle.
And it was Amos Mayberry. Good read on the ball. 95 just covers it up, and a critical mistake here for the Vikings to open the second half. And you know, Tyler Anderson coming back into the game. You don't expect that from the senior, but that time the ball just a little slippery, I guess.
3 drops in this offensive series, and finally the Chi-High Cardinals able to recover one on the fumble.
Yeah, and some miscues for the Vikings. I'm sure Steve King not very happy as he's talking to his players out on the field. And we'll see if that Holman defense can continue their string of dominance in this game against the Chi-High offense, who only had 64 yards of total offense in the first half, Rick. -17 rushing.
1st and 10 for the Cardinals from the Holman 47-yard line. And there's a good arm on young Mr. Blair. He gets some pressure, steps up, throws deep downfield. His receiver stopped in the route and probably could have had that ball, or at least had a good battle for it there with the Holman secondary, but he stopped and that ball is incomplete.
Yeah, Kyle Webb that time was just running that a little fade route, fade deep end, and good job, too, by Dylan Martinez to recover, as Webb actually had position, but then you talked about how fast Martinez is. He showed that recovery speed very quickly.
So with the incomplete pass, 2nd down and 10, 9:48 left in the 3rd quarter. 14-0, Holman Vikings. Back in the shotgun again is Tony Blair, senior quarterback in his 3rd year as the starter. Motion to the near side, fakes the handoff, and now he's looking, has time. Now he'll run with it. He gets 2, maybe 3, 4, 5. It continues up the sideline very close to the first down marker. Blair showing his speed. He has not run out of the pocket much tonight.
Yeah, now Greg Rooney coming up limping as he was on pursuit on Tony Blair. Blair broke that tackle. And maybe a cramp for Rooney. Doesn't look anything serious. Looks like he's still walking around out there. But Noah Rich that time making the play from his middle linebacker spot. But good job by Blair, Rick, to break that tackle and get some yardage.
It'll be a 1st down, 1st and 10 from the Holman 37-yard line. And so Blair uses his feet this time. We know he's got the arm. Hasn't had a tremendous number of completions, but some of that due to his receiving. Here's the give up the middle to Webb. Webb shreds one tackle, but he's dragged down from behind. And looks like the tackle was made there.
Dylan Shockey.
Is that 84? It looked like it.
It looked like 64, Dylan
Oh,
Shockey.
maybe 64. Yep. Your eye's a little better than mine. Dylan Shockey, a senior. And he comes right off after that. So a lot of shifting of personnel here for Coach King.
Yeah, Rooney's coming off too. He's still limping. I think he's got a cramp. He probably just needs to get some hydration here.
2nd and 7 as Blair again comes up under center. Now he drops back into the shotgun. Hebring moved back to the line of scrimmage. Got a flag here. I think one too many moves up front.
Yep.
And back him up 5 yards.
Delay of game on the offense. Took too much time setting the play up.
Didn't get that play off. So backs him up, 2nd and 12. More motion again. There's Webb getting stamped in the backfield. Up huge was Noah Risch. And we heard from Coach King and our football preview show say if I had 11 of him, we'd never lose.
That time just reading it perfectly, Rick, and that's what you call just read and react. And Noah Risch, man, I tell you what, like a runaway freight train. They don't get them too many times in Holmen. There's no train tracks around here.
Hurry up offense right now as they quickly got to the line of scrimmage, thought they were going to catch the Vikings off guard. Now they slow it down again as Blair works out of the shotgun. Tries to draw the Vikings off, almost did. Here's the pass rush, the throw downfield. It's up there and on target, but right through the hands of the intended receiver, Justin Ignarski, and oh my, that would have been a touchdown had he been able to hold on to that one. It was thrown perfectly by Blair. Maybe a little far on the throw, but still very catchable.
That's a perfect pass, Rick. That's textbook. You break the blitz. He saw it coming. Blair just took a step, threw it down the field. Ignarski just dropped it. That was 7 points for Chi High.
Right through the hands, and now it's a punting situation, and there's the boot by Blair up high. Good hang time. They're going to get a return on this as it bounces Holman's way up to the 25, maybe the 24, where they'll start out 1st and 10, 8:17 left here in the third quarter, up 14-0. And boy, I tell you what, Tony Blair has shown a very strong arm out of the pocket. He had 2 blitzers in right in his face, threw it right down the center of the field about 35 yards, and it went right through the hands of Ignarski.
Yeah, Logan Lasik and Noah Risch both getting a pretty good shot on Blair, and Risch, of course, getting that big pop, but Blair get that ball down the field. And that was a great read by number 10.
So now the Vikings with the football. And Tyler Anderson back in the game. His second series now. They give the football up the middle. Dylan Martinez got knocked down after the play, and he's complaining about it, and there might be a flag thrown on that. Pickup of 4 on the play. I believe that was Mitchell Dinger again. Second and 6 for the Vikings. They need to get something going here. Pitch, near side. Magnuson dodged one tackle on his feet, first down and more, up to midfield and knocked out of bounds. A nice play design there. The pitch, Magnuson held on to the football, which was the key thing they've had trouble with in the last series, and picks up the first down, Scotty.
Actually a great read by John Strand, the defensive back for Chippewa Falls, but an even better move by Magnuson, just shuffling his feet, getting around the edge, and showing a little bit of that burst. And, Rick, that's exactly what the doctor ordered for the Vikings to get something rolling here.
And Tianna down on the field just saw that play up close and personal. A nice little pitch there to Magnuson, showed his speed up the sidelines.
Definitely did. He was right there, ready to go, read the play great, and took off.
The Vikings need to continue the pressure on as the offense struggled in its last series, dropping the football 3 times, eventually turning it over. Dinger with extra space up the middle, another Viking first down as he rumbles into Chi High territory to the 38, and a flag thrown from the sideline. Extracurriculars after the tackle.
It's going to be a personal foul on Chippewa Falls, and I couldn't pick up a number, but Dylan Shockey was getting tossed around like he was going to some kind of mosh pit there for a little bit after the play.
So the fans reciprocate, and they'll tack some extra yardage onto the nice run by Dinger, who has been the second leading rusher for the Holman Vikings tonight, including 1 touchdown.
Somebody tell Central it's only the first game of the season. They're up 40-6 now.
40-6. Tony Service and the Red Raiders are looking solid tonight in their first contest.
Caledonia now up 18-13 on Chatfield.
That's a good battle for their first game.
It is.
Because you know the Warriors are always tough. 1st and 10, Holman, 7:19 remaining here in the third quarter, up 14-zip. And trouble, fumble again by Anderson, recovered by the Cardinals at the 28-yard line. And just like that, Holman turns it over again. They've had the dropsies, and I know this is the first game of the season, but that's something Coach King is definitely going to be spending time on at practice this week.
Another bad exchange, and offensive coach coming out to talk to Tyler, and gotta get the wheels going early in the season, get that continuity. And Holman just an opportunity lost again. And a good job by Seth Weiland for Chipa Falls getting on that fumble. Good reaction by number 90.
So 1st and 10 for Chippewa Falls. They'll start out at their own 27-yard line, but I think things are going to be talked over on the sidelines, and we'll take a quick break here. 14-0 Holmen leading Chippewa Falls, the high school football game of the week here in the Coulee Region Sports Network.
Hi, I'm Ryan. I'm the owner of Howie's, and I love talking to my guests, and I love making new friends.
I've always enjoyed the food that has been served, and I would highly recommend anybody to come down. You can bring your family here. It's family-oriented. It's wonderful. It's fantastic. Chicken nachos are yummy.
Even if you've been to Howie's, you've never been to Howie's.
Oh my God, I love Howie's. I love what they did with the place. It's a wonderful place to hang out with your friends.
La Crosse's new favorite restaurant, Howie's on La Crosse Street.
Rick and Scotty back from Empire Stadium in Holmen, Wisconsin. The Vikings with turnovers tonight. It's been kind of their archenemy more than anything else, and coughing up the football. It's now Chi High's ball again after almost striking for a touchdown pass. You know that Mr. Blair is going to be ready to throw again, although they're going to go with a drop as well as they run the football up the middle. Nowhere to go, nowhere to hide. Dalton West's first carry of the game, and he gets knocked down, as they were all jammed up in kind of a short yardage dive situation, not something that they've run all day.
Yeah, nice play by Greg Rooney getting back into the game now. Looks like he's got that cramp all situated.
Interesting call to start out the series. And now limping off the field is Dalton West.
Yeah, he took a shot.
West, a senior, is their leading rusher last year, based on the numbers we saw. We didn't see a lot of numbers for Chippewa Falls last year. I think they reported about 2 or 3 games, at least on Wisconsin Prep Sports. So 6:34 and counting here in the third quarter. 2nd down and 10. And Tony Blair now steps back into that shotgun. 3 near, 2 receivers far. Spread offense, looking left, fires, completes, but it's stuck by Dylan Martinez right back at the yard marker. So if anything, maybe 1 before he was peppered.
Yeah, Steinmetz with the catch and a textbook defensive back play by Dylan Martinez, and that's exactly what you want to see. Read and react. Receiver gets the ball, you put a helmet or you put a shoulder pad right into him, try to knock it out 1 or just make a great play 2.
So 3rd down and 8. It was pickup of 2 on the play. Blair back in the shotgun again. Vikings ready for the spread. Here's Blair taking it right up the middle and kind of conceding that play. Didn't like what he saw. Vikings got through the line. He runs forward, back to the line of scrimmage. 4th down, so they'll be kicking.
Yeah, nice job by Lasik again. We've called his number a couple times, number 50 tonight. Again, good job on the edge, and you talk about this 3-4 defense, Rick. It's been pretty good so far for the Vikings.
Magnuson and Dylan Martinez, the deep returner here on the punt for Chippewa Falls. It's 4th and 6. Doubt they're going to run a fake here. Trailing 14-0, couldn't give the Vikings the dagger. High snap, and they're going to redo this one as the whistles blow. Take this time to thank some of our great title sponsors like Coulee Bank, Bank with Confidence, and Jones Construction. Call Phil for your home improvement project, 608-386-8292. Also like to thank Builders Flooring, flooring experts so you don't have to be. And Culligan of La Crosse, better water, pure and simple. Here's the kick from Blair as he puts it end over end. Beautiful punt. That's going to bounce at the 35 and then come back to the 31-yard line. So an excellent kick by Tony Blair, and the Vikings will start out 1st and 10. Didn't want to do any trickery there. 4:51 left in the third quarter and down 14-0.
I think this is a big series for the Vikings. I mean, offensively, they got to get some consistency going, Rick. I mean, it's kind of up and down, and looks like Martinez now down on the sideline getting stretched out. So the Vikings, maybe some hydration problems here for Holman, as looks like another cramp here for the Vikings down on the sideline for Martinez.
Obviously, they've been practicing. It hasn't been that hot until just recently. Right. So, you know, the heat can take its toll. It's comfortable out right now. We'll have to get a check with Tianna and see if she thinks it's sweater time yet, but we'll do that right after the play. Told her we're going to order some new clothes, CRSN stuff. And that play continued, I believe, up near the 40 as the misdirection. I want to double check. I think that's where the football ended up with that triple option. And it looks like another player down, but he's touching his toes now, stretching out.
Yeah. I mean, looks like there's some hydration issues right now with some of these players. And you talked about it, Rick. It's been last couple weeks kind of mild here in the Cooley region, and the last couple days just humid, hot, icky, sticky, and it's supposed to stay like that even next week. So these players not used to this heat.
Supposed to get even hotter. Check in with Tianna. Tianna, I know your mic, it sounds like your mic was cutting out just a little bit there. Can you hear us all right?
I can hear you.
All right, fantastic. First off, it
looks like another cramp.
Yeah, Dinger coming off here, and he's had a pretty good game here for the Vikings. Temperature-wise down the field right now, still pretty hot? What's your take?
I mean, I'm always cold.
Because you're small.
Hey.
No, you're small and you're a girl.
Though. People, that has nothing to do with it.
Women are usually get colder faster than men.
That's true. I'm usually cold. I'm perfect right now. I did get a little chill, but it's a beautiful night for some high school football for sure.
It is. So it looks like they're going to call a timeout here to kind of talk things over with all of the cramping that seems to be going on. 2 players right now on their backs, and it's not a good sign. But, you know, like you said, Scotty, the heat as of late has been nasty, and it's not going to get any cooler anytime soon.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be sticking around here for sure through next week. And then I'm sure with this great Wisconsin weather we usually have, it'll probably be 60 in probably 2 weeks. That's usually what happens. But a couple score updates, Rick, while we're talking here. And now Central up 47-6. Over Eau Claire North. Westby up 28-0 on Richland Center. And Aquinas, actually, Prairie du Chien has just scored. It's now 21-14 in favor of the Blue Golds.
What about the Logan game? I haven't heard anything there.
I haven't seen anything on the Logan game. I am constantly checking this thing.
I know you are, Scotty. You're on top of things.
I'm trying to be.
I think Tianna was mad at me for saying she's cold because she's a girl, but it's true.
I don't like you calling me out just because of my gender.
No, okay.
I can do anything you can do.
I might have to fire myself.
Oh, there's that smart aleck attitude coming back.
Here's the handoff up the middle, and the Cardinals snuff it out instantly. That's going to be short, I think, based off of my perspective, as they wrapped it up pretty quick, Scotty.
Yeah, pretty good penetration that time again, and quickly on the play for Chippewa Falls again, I believe Amos Mayberry in there, the linebacker.
They're going to bring out the spot? No, they're going to move it. That moves the chains. Enough for the first down on the line plunge, and that'll move the sticks for the Holman Vikings, who have a 1st and 10 now at the 42, their own 42. 4:13 left here in the third quarter, up 14-0. Full house backfield again for the Holman Vikings. And it looks like the fake drew some people, but not enough, as enough of the Cardinal defensive line stayed back to get Anderson right back at the line of scrimmage.
And a great read again by the Chippewa Falls defense. And Tyler Anderson, like you said, Rick, he tried to fake it to Steve Anderson that time. Tyler Anderson trying to go on the right side, just gaining a yard, and good penetration for the Chippewa Falls Cardinals. Parker Levine, we talked about him in the pregame.
So 2nd down and 10, 3:30 left here in the third quarter. 14-0 Vikings, and slow moving on offense. Did get enough to pick up a first down on the last series. And again, going to get stacked up at the line. Boy, the Cardinals defense has been very good up front, not giving much up the middle.
Number 29, Parker Levine, has really turned it on here in the second half. He's done a good job with his gap responsibility, getting it inside, and they're reading that quarterback option pretty well. Whenever Anderson's trying to sneak or trying to do a fake, they're really watching that ball. Very well coached team here defensively are the Chippewa Falls Cardinals in this one.
3rd and 10. My call is something to Greg Rooney. I think you got to get him here. You got to get him the football.
Been pretty quiet.
Let's see what they do. Anderson steps back, looks downfield, trying to hit his receiver over the shoulder and caught. Beautiful pass and a beautiful catch by Sam Houlihan. The senior grabbed that one, watched it over the shoulder on a fly to the sidelines, and hauled it down between his arms.
Another wheel route for the Holman Vikings, and Houlihan was one of the top receiving running backs for the Holman Vikings last year, showing good hands again, and a nice floater by Tyler Anderson, just keeping it up, letting his receiver get underneath.
So Houlihan with a nice catch. He watched it over the shoulder and made sure to get the hands wrapped up on it. 1st and 10 for the Vikings, now inside Chi-High territory at the 40. And there's Dinger making his own space and rumbling for another first down, Vikings, as he gets it inside the 30 to the 28.
Yeah, Dinger that time just taking that and just going right up the gut with it, showing that power, Rick. He's got great leg strength and breaks some tackles at that point of contact, and that's huge in football. Yards after breaking tackles can be big and wear down a defense.
So 2 consecutive first downs now by the Holman Vikings, and they continue to roll downfield. Ball to 27 of Chippewa Falls, 1st and 10, 14-0 lead for Holman. Here they go again. This time, Dinger is met hard at the line of scrimmage. Gets nowhere. Knocked right back at the line. And a big stick right there by number 90, Seth Weiland. He is right in there hard.
Aquinas has just scored 27-14 over Prairie du Chien. Wettstein, wow, 264 yards and 3 touchdowns tonight for the Blue Golds.
How about that? Those aren't all his numbers. Those are team numbers or his numbers?
His numbers
Robert
tonight.
Wettstein, wow. How about that?
Makes me want to buy a fridge.
Might have to buy a new stove.
Yeah.
Here's a run up the middle, and Dinger again carried a tackler, but eventually hauled down after a pickup of a few more.
Eau Claire Memorial over Logan, 20-7 into the 3rd quarter.
So there you go. There's a Logan score. So they're trailing.
Merrill up 43-12 over on Alaska.
Tough night for the Hilltoppers. Right here, it's 14-0. Holman Vikings, 3rd and 7. Ball at the 25-yard line of Chippewa Falls. Under a minute to play here in the 3rd quarter. And the pitch to Martinez. Space to the outside, gets around the corner and stumbles to the 8-yard line. A first down again for the Holman Vikings, and you see that speed when he gets to the outside. Who's going to get him?
Yeah, I mean, and a great job planting that hand, Rick, and getting a couple extra yards by Martinez, taking that pitch. Good seal block on the outside by Dinger to open that hole, and you give that guy a little bit of space. He's one of the fastest guys in this conference, and he showed it right there.
So down to the 8-yard line. 1st and goal, Holman Vikings. Clock continues to tick here as the seconds start to wane in the 3rd quarter. 14-0, looking to add more to the lead. Insurance as they go up the middle, but they held on to the football for a couple more yards. The misdirection, hard to pick. No, fumble. They say they fumbled the football again. I thought for sure they had it. Didn't see any scramble or anyone cheering until all of a sudden the sideline for the Chippewa Falls Cardinals erupted and another turnover for Holman.
Yeah, Dinger looks like he was the recipient of a fumble there. And I tell you, again, Chi-High doing a good job right at that point of attack. They have been all night, and lots of turnovers for the Holman Vikings in this first game, Rick.
So grades on the defense, fantastic tonight for Holman. Turnovers on the offense, things that can be fixed at practice next week as they head to New Prague next Thursday night.
Let's see if Holman dials up the pressure here.
So Blair back in the shotgun. Long snap count. Gives it to Webb left side, and the Vikings snuffed it out. Should be a loss on the play. Looks like getting in on the tackle there that time was Chuck Saraskis, and Saraskis has had a pretty good game.
Yeah, Saraskis again at the point of attack. Quick first step, got inside, and I tell you what, no dice that time as Kyle Webb had nowhere to go.
And that's going to take care of our 3rd quarter of play. No scoring since the first. Holman 14, Chippewa Falls nothing as we head to the 4th quarter. It's the high school football game of the week here in the Coulee Region Sports Network.
Hi, this is Mike, and I'm with Scott the Culligan Man. Scott, I've already got a water softener.
Yeah, but Mike, how do you know it's working? Give us a call. We can come out and do a tune-up. We'll test the water, we'll check the settings, give it a resin cleaning, deliver 2 bags of salt. You should be good to go, and all for $39.95. Doesn't matter what make or model you've got, we can give it a tune-up.
Culligan will tune up any brand of water softener for just $39.95. Call or visit CulliganLacrosse.com. Better water, pure and simple, limited time offer.
Jones Construction, specializing in residential remodeling. If it is in or on your house, Jones Construction can fix it, update it, or add on to it. Kitchens and bathrooms, countertops and backsplashes, windows and doors, siding and decks, you name it, Jones Construction can do it. Owner-operator means hands-on from start to finish. Fully licensed and insured with over 20 years experience. Contact Phil with Jones Construction today, 608-386-8292.
Rik Franke, Scotty Gran Tianna Vanderhei back at Empire Stadium in Holmen, Wisconsin. Vikings turned it over. And now it's Tony Blair, the Cardinals offense, deep in their own territory. Blair back in the pocket, getting pressure. Wogan chasing. Throws deep downfield. He's got a receiver wide open. It's Webb. And he makes the catch. Up across the 46. A huge throw from the goal line by Webb, and they go 46 yards for a first down. Call it 45, but there's a flag deep about the 2-yard line.
It's going to be a personal foul on Michael Wogan hitting Blair after he threw the football, and that's a key mistake here for this Viking defense. It's been pretty good, and another mistake is your safeties got to be the deepest guys on the field, and that time Holman's safeties were playing way too deep inside, and they got beat on that deep route.
So Blair showed the arm again. This time he had 3 receivers in the area, and Webb was wide open. The question mark has been whether the receiver could hold on to the ball or not, which unfortunately for Tony Blair tonight, his receivers have dropped a lot of passes or just not gotten up high enough for him. This one they did catch.
Chris Magnuson coming off the field too now for the Vikings, getting looked at by the training staff.
Ball in Holman territory, first down and 10 at the Holman 40. 11:40 remaining here in regulation. Holman up 14-0. Blair, shotgun, pitch left. Here's Webb. Webb trying to get some space, cuts back inside, dragged down hard from behind as the tackle was made by Chuck Saraskis again.
Yeah, Dean Steinmetz is going to be called for holding on the outside on Dylan Martinez as he was going for the tackle and grabbed him from behind on the jersey.
Quite a few penalties in this one tonight. Scotty sees one on the field there. So far they haven't marked it off.
I'm getting the old rust out, Rick, of this football.
Well, it's the first game of the season. Everyone's got rust. Fumbles on the field and fumbles in the broadcast booth.
Yeah.
Not Tianna, though.
No, Tianna's been awesome.
No rust there.
It's because I got some years on you, you know.
Yeah, right.
Just a couple.
And a better tan line.
Yeah, nice suntan.
Nice and bronze from vacation.
Yeah. Little vacation time before you hit the books again.
Got to spend some time on the water, you know.
University of Wisconsin lacrosse.
Yes, I'll be a junior in the fall.
There's the throw by Blair. That one almost picked off as it was thrown over the middle, and Noah Risch just couldn't get his hands out there to snag it down. It was thrown hard.
You know, one thing that Chippewa Falls keeps trying to do that I think Holman's doing a good job is they're trying to hit that seam route, but the linebackers for the Vikings are in good position, and they really have good ball skills. They read the ball very well and just get to their assignments, and that time Risch almost had an interception.
So it'll be 2nd and 19 for Chippewa Falls. Working that spread offense again. See what kind of pressure the Vikings can get on this time. Back to pass. Protection breaks down. Blair on his feet, rolling back, and he gets knocked back for a huge loss. Noah Risch, this time he got him. And that was a sack for a loss of 18. A huge play by the Vikings.
That was pure effort by Noah Risch as the Vikings that time had about 3-4 guys back in Chippewa's backfield, and Risch just turned on the acceleration and went for it, Rick. He went for the ankles of Tony Blair, and he got him.
So a huge play forcing the Chippewa Falls Cardinals so far back into their own territory. They're at their own 34 now. So 4th and 36 is what's on the scoreboard here. It's a huge 4th down, and Tony Blair is going to have a pass rush, I would imagine. Here's Blair rolling to the near side. Looking downfield, fires to the sideline. Pass was low. Tough one for Olsen to try to grab there, and that's an incomplete pass.
Yeah, good pursuit again by the Viking defense, and you called it, Rick. They didn't bring anybody extra that time. They just got through, and that's just pure talent right there, just to get inside and make him think about it. Blair trying to extend the play.
So actually the scoreboard had 4th. It's now 4th down, and they're set to punt. Snap to Blair. Here's the kick. End over end, and ahead to about the 40. Goes and bounces at the 37 and eventually settles at the 33, which is where the Vikings will take over. 1st and 10 with 9:56 left here in the 4th quarter. There's been no scoring since the 1st, and one of those touchdowns, a defensive touchdown by the Vikings, but I mean that seems fitting tonight. Turnovers are the reason that they don't have more points on the board, Scotty.
Yeah, and, really, you take those away, and this really could be a very one-sided affair, Rick. But like you said, I have to give credit where credit's due. I think Chippewa Falls defense has come well prepared to play the Vikings in this triple option offense.
Definitely up the middle. They've done a great job.
Yes.
So here again, Anderson, pitch. Dylan Martinez tries to find a gap. He does, then cuts to the sideline, still on his feet. Couple of Walter Payton-like dance moves and then dragged down from behind after a pickup of 6. Now, I know that's a bold comparison, but you got to love the high step and the leg whip and then cut back inside move.
Yeah, and Parker Levine with the tackle coming all the way from the left defensive end spot to make that play. And, you see the skill set of Martinez, and he's coming off the field now, though, Rick. I think he caught an eye or a finger to the eye. It looked like one of the defenders at Chippewa Falls got inside that face mask when he was trying to cut back.
He'll get a breather after a pickup of 7. 9:17 remaining here in the 4th quarter. Holman with the lead and the football at their own 41-yard line. Way under center is Anderson. He gets it, pitches it, and nowhere to go on the pitch to Alex LaFleur. He was wrapped up quickly. It'll be a loss on the play, and the Chi-High defense did a nice job of finding that one out.
Yeah, and again, just their assignments. I mean, they're not getting out of position, and you got to give credit there because really, throughout this game where you think Holman's going to go ahead and break it open, this Cardinal defense has come up and just made some pretty good plays and some great stops when they need to.
First carry for Alex LaFleur of this game. Now it looks like they're going to split Brandon Krasnovich out to the near side, and haven't seen him out there yet. Dinger, he faked it to him. Anderson rolls off a tackle and then stood up for another loss, and that Chi-High defense continues to play aggressive as Anderson was knocked down to 37.
Yep, Parker Levine, number 29. Good penetration, set the edge, and a good tackle. And Anderson, again, you can tell, not 100% as he couldn't get that acceleration off of that move. And coming off grimacing just a little bit after that hit as well.
4th and 6, 7:50 remaining here in the 4th quarter. Rooney waiting for the snap. That's boomed up high. 34-yard line, fair catch for the Chi-High Cardinals. They'll start out their own 34-yard line as it was received by Drew Steinmetz.
Black River Falls up 42-0 on Sparta.
Well, they've really taken a step back, haven't they?
No doubt. I mean, you talk about Jordan Millis leaving. I mean, yeah, it's a big component, but they got a pretty doggone good quarterback over in Black River Falls by the name of Ethan Young. How many now? It was ironic the day after we said something about him not being on that Dave Craig Award watch list, he was there.
Yeah, he was there. There's no question, and should have been, and obviously he is on that list now, and they're watching him carefully. Here's Blair. He's looking downfield. He throws a spiral down to Webb, and did Webb catch it? I think he did.
He did.
Boy, I'll tell you what, this kid's got the hands. He may be the running back, but he's probably got the best hands on the team as he's had 2 balls sent his way. He's caught both of them.
Yeah, and a great adjustment because that was good coverage out there. I believe on the coverage for the Vikings was Magnuson. But again, coming back for the ball, Webb just looking back there, grabbing it. Good play by him, and again, here come the Cardinals.
Huge play the other direction as it's now 1st down and 10. Chi-High Cardinals at the 22-yard line of Holman. There's still lots of time, 7:28 left. If they can complete this drive and get some points on the board, they can press Holman pretty hard. So the student section standing right now as there is a little bit of collective worry going on right now.
Update from the Packer game. The Seahawks have just scored on a Christine Michael, Texas A&M rookie, 43-yard touchdown run. They lead 10-3, but never fear, Vince Young is here.
All right, there you go. Vince Young going to be coming in. Here, 14-0 Holman, 7:21 left. Cardinals ready to do battle now here as they settle back with that packed line, and they'll run it right side. We've seen that formation once earlier in the game. This time it worked a little bit better as they pick up yardage up to what looks to be a 6-yard carry, maybe 7.
Yeah, and they're going to run a hurry up, and I think this is smart because Holman's defense has been on the field quite a bit here in the second half.
Hurry up again in the goal line formation, trying to plunge it forward. Not going to beat that Holman defensive line up front.
Greg Rooney, but just again, just a great read and getting inside, and so long and so tough, and he gets up again. Man, Rooney's just still bothered by that, maybe that left calf, it looks like.
Besides that, Hunter Hauser. It takes 3.5 Tianna Vanderheis to make a Hunter Hauser. They're still moving with the football to the sideline. Trying to pick up a number. That was Webb this time to the far sideline in that bunched goal line formation. Tough to pick up the runner. But the Cardinals look to be pretty close to picking up a first down. It looks like they're making that discussion, and it will be a first down. Now, where are they going to spot that football? Is it first and goal, or is it just outside the 10?
That's a good question. And Holman's defense, like we said, they've been on the field quite a bit right now. So if you're Chippewa Falls, and again, here you go, Rick.
And again, up the middle. Not going to get much this time as the Vikings able to close in on it. Trying to pick up a number on the tackle there. Looks like, again, up in for the stop was Chuck Saraskis.
I just got done watching Shark Week, but the Cardinals smell blood in the water right now.
Smolik quickly darted off the field. 2nd and 9 here, and the Vikings get in there, and they're trying to wrestle the football away. As that one came loose, a loss on the play. Vikings think they have it. As you're looking at Greg Rooney pointing the other direction, and he started to clap again, but still no decision made by the officials. Yes!
Hunter Hauser.
And Hunter Hauser, like I said, 3.5 Tiannas makes up number 74, Hunter Hauser. And he comes up with a big play. When it's a wrestling match on the ground like that, no one's going to get that ball away from him. He's hungry.
Tianna, do you have any rebuttal for that comment? Or?
I mean, it's pretty true. He's a big boy, and I'm pretty tiny myself. I could probably take him on. I had a spin move I pulled in my competitive soccer days, so I'd probably confuse him and spin around him.
Yeah,
there you go.
His brother Gabe Hauser's 6'3", 266, so there's another one waiting in the wings.
Big boys.
Sizable Hausers, 5:57 left. Vikings, might be a good band name. A nice pitch to the right side. And finally knocked down at what looks to be about the 18 was the running back Sam Houlihan, who had a nice play earlier on in the game.
Yeah, and for Holman right now, you got to cut out the turnover bug. Give your defense a rest here and get a drive going. Because Holman's defense is spending a lot of time out there.
Clock continuing to tick. The turnover there by the Cardinals is probably has done them in terms of where the clock's at if the Vikings can get a couple first downs here in this series. 2nd down and 5. And up the middle they go. I believe that's Dinger, and he'll get up across the 20 to the 23. Will be a short third. The clock stopped right now, 5:10. That's a first down. So that is the reason for the stoppage on the clock. It'll start going again. And that's exactly what the doctor ordered here for the Holman Vikings, picking up that first down and letting that clock continue to run.
First final of the night. It's official. Central wins 47-12 over Eau Claire North.
47-12, a huge win.
Yeah, Westby 28-0 over Richland Center. Aquinas up 27-14 with just under 4 minutes left against Prairie du Chien.
So it looks like a timeout here. 4:44 remains here in regulation. Holman up 14-0. A new set of downs after the pickup by the fullback Mitchell Dinger, who has done a nice job here. And let's take a quick 30, and we'll come back with more of the high school football game of the week here on the Coulee Region Sports Network.
Smokies in downtown Holmen is a great place to meet up with friends and family after any event. Smokies offers food and drink specials throughout the week to start your evening off right. Smokies offers great atmosphere and awesome entertainment like karaoke every Wednesday night with Rose Sabota. Also, Rose will be at Smokies Friday night, September 13th. On Friday, September 20th, live music with the Cheap Charlie Band, and Saturday, September 21st, a blues band from Milwaukee called 3rd Street. Start your weekend off right at Smokies by the Holman Meat Locker and Metropolitan Salon, downtown Holmen.
Rik, Scotty, and Tianna here from Empire Stadium.
You stole my Xbox. What's that?
A little techno for you. 4:44 left, and the Vikings.
Thought we were playing Metroid.
Vikings get another first down here. That's really going to push Chippewa Falls against the wall in terms of amount of time remaining. Pitch. Here's a nice wrap-up tackle by the Chippewa Falls Cardinals. Couple guys in on the stop. One
Mayberry.
of those was Amos Mayberry, who's had a huge night here.
I think he's got at least 9 tackles tonight for the Cardinals.
Brandon Mall also in on the stop.
That's a great name right there. Brandon Mall.
You like that?
I like
Mall's
that.
a good physical defensive name.
There was a Sith Lord named Darth Maul. That's a pretty cool name, too.
A little Star Wars talk there for you.
Yeah, back to real things.
Video games and Star Wars. Scotty kind of, Tiana's shaking her head. Yeah. You know what they call those
Darth
guys
Maul.
in college?
Guys you want to hang out with.
Really smart, intelligent.
Oh.
I'm just going to play it out nice so I don't hurt Scotty's feelings right now.
Don't stereotype. Yeah. Here's Anderson stepping back in the pocket. Too far for the intended receiver. He tried to go and lead Sam Houlihan, but unfortunately for Sam, was up a little too far. And incomplete pass makes it 3rd down and 8 with 3:51 left here in the 4th. Holman up 14-0.
I think I sound smart now. Wait till you see me 11 o'clock at Smokies.
Yeah?
Yeah.
That's his prime.
Guess we'd have to ask Berta about that. But
yeah. Probably wouldn't get much of an answer there.
No, probably not. So the Vikings, 3rd down and 8, 3:51 left. Anderson steps back, throws over the middle. Greg Rooney with a catch. He'll have a first down and more up to the 45 to midfield. Continues to move into Chippewa Falls territory. First down, Vikings. And that might have just been the dagger there, time-wise.
And that was a pretty good play call, as the Vikings have been setting that up, I think, for a while, but just haven't had the defensive look from Chippewa Falls to run that quick slant. And Rooney right off the edge, that big frame, and you ain't going to miss him at 6'5", 230.
Big Mr. Rooney. Of course, we saw a lot of action with him during baseball season on CRSN, and now seeing some of his receiving skills. We've seen the defense throughout the game, but his first target, and he makes the catch and picked up some yards afterwards. Taking his time is quarterback Tyler Anderson, who was down for a couple of plays, but then came back in. His knee seems to be okay. He has not run the football a lot since he came back in, though, Scotty, if you've noticed.
No, and probably with good reason. You don't want to nick him up too much here. And, got some guys behind him that are a little healthy, and you got that 14-0 lead, and got time ticking away here with under 3, Rick, and don't want to risk that injury on Tyler Anderson.
I believe that was Dinger with the carry, who picked up 3, 248 and counting. Ball inside Chippewa Falls territory, 44-yard line. They'll work the clock down as far as they can. Trying to work it behind big Hunter Hauser. Here's Anderson. Tries to cut back inside after going right and knocked down at the 40.
Good misdirection there by the Vikings. Eat up more of that clock, and a good high percentage 3rd down conversion attempt here coming up here for the Vikings to see if they can seal this one for good.
If you're going to give a star out, Scotty, I just got to give a kudos to Cardinals defensive player Amos Mayberry, because he was just in on yet another stop. He's got to have near 15 to 20 tackles in this game.
Yeah, he's been fantastic in this game. And last year, second team River Valley Conference, Big Rivers Conference, I should say. Good linebacker.
Follows the football. Here's Anderson with space. First down and more. Continues on his feet down the sideline and then eventually driven out at about the 23. Forced out of bounds. Finally brought down by Lucas Gant.
And pretty close to a penalty there, as it looked like Gant maybe got him out of bounds. Tianna, what do you think down there? It was pretty close from my perspective.
It was close. He was running out. He saw him coming, but right around the 23.
So the 23, or I should say, they pull it to the 18-yard line is where they have the ball spotted. First down and 10 here for the Vikings. Clock with 1:43 left. And still taking his time, but it's not moving. Is Anderson. Now he sets him down. Anderson again. He faked the pitch. Didn't give it to Houlihan, held on to it.
That was a good decision there by Anderson.
Yeah, he was brought down hard by Brandon Mall. Scotty likes the name. Mall's been in on a couple of tackles here in the series.
Yeah, smart play by Anderson. He was going to pitch it to Houlihan there. They were setting that pitch up again, but he held on to the ball because snuffing out that play for Chi High was Bailey Decker. He's made a couple nice plays from the defensive back spot in this game.
1:16 and counting here in the fourth quarter. Holman with a 14-0 lead.
Developing situation as Logan has just scored. It's 20-13, and they have just forced a 3-and-out on Eau Claire Memorial.
Logan trying to make that comeback. They are the Cardiac Kids. Fumble the snap by Anderson, and he falls down on top of it.
I think tonight one of the big takeaways for the Vikings, they'll be looking at ball possession and control all week this week. I don't think there's any question. A lot of center quarterback exchanges.
Hunter Hauser rubbing his hands together. He couldn't possibly be cold because it's still pretty balmy out there. He's probably just doing that as a motion of got to get that ball in your hands because the exchanges have not been fantastic here tonight.
Been pretty sloppy, I think, for the most part for Holman in that capacity.
Gonna rough them up a little bit. You get sweat on your hands, you can cough up the ball from time to time. I believe you can talc them up, can't you? Here's Anderson. Clock with 24 seconds left. And a plunge to the right side, down to the 16-yard line. Should be the last play, although it stopped at 18 seconds. So a final timeout. 4th and 13, the situation. And Tianna, you can get a barometer on whether you think Coach King wants to talk. My guess is he's probably going to want to get with the guys right away after the game. Has he give you any indication?
He has not.
Okay. Well, we'll keep an eye out for him. If it looks like he's at all in the mood to talk, we'd like to get him on just to get his take. And I think one of the things he'll talk about is how we're going to work on control of the football here in practice this week.
Definitely. Praise that defense for a great game tonight, but definitely touch base on the offense this week.
Couple finals to report, Merrill. It's final 43-19 over on Alaska. Aquinas final over Prairie du Chien 33-14. And let me see here if I can get another one. Actually, that's it right now, but a score update from the Packer game. Vince Young has just thrown a touchdown pass to tie it up 10-10.
Hey, how about it, that Vince Young?
And,
what
Twitter,
if he climbs up to be number 2?
I'm telling you, Nick Collins and Jay Glazer are tweeting constantly on how good Vince Young looks tonight against Seattle. So we'll have to see.
Talking heads, inquiring minds want to know, is Vince Young making the comeback? Well, that was a big hit right there. Steiger goes down. Tackle made by number 98, Brad Seidlitz. And 15 seconds left on the clock as the fans start to file.
Maybe heading over to Smokies, Rick, huh?
They might be heading over to Smokies. Right there in downtown Holmen.
Yep, right over by the Holman Meat Locker and Metropolitan Salon.
Good eats over there at the Holman Meat Locker.
Darn right. What is that, the dried beef?
Oh, gosh. You make a sandwich of
good.
dried beef. Their dried beef is outstanding. Many things. A lot of the smoked items that they do there are fantastic.
And they get some different variety desserts there that I haven't seen. Of course, they have to go with the desserts out of all the things at the Meat Locker.
Love learning Scotty's shopping habits. It's always good to get that in. Here's Blair. Hail Mary, maybe? He's rolling around. Sends it deep down the left side. Up for grabs. Webb goes for it. Tipped into the hands of Wogan with the interception. He'll go down to his knees, and that will be a turnover, which stops the clock with 3.5. So that means the Vikings will run one play, which will be a kneel down for Anderson, or maybe it'll be for Cam Zimmerman, who knows. But nonetheless, that'll be that. But there's another Holman player down on the field on his back, and it's been a lot of that here tonight.
And again, I think it's another cramp, Rick. It looks like another stretch out. A lot of that today for the Vikings.
And I don't know, Tianna, if you've heard anything from where you're standing about from the sidelines, but, I mean, have they talked about the cramping because of the heat? What are your thoughts?
I touched base with one of the coaches about the cramping, and, you know, it's been hot the last day, and with the players experiencing that in practice is one thing. You're not going completely hard. You don't have opponents up against you full speed. So when you come into play mode, that's a whole different level, and it's just trying to compensate for that with the heat we've been experiencing in the last couple days. So the boys will rest well tonight.
That's
definitely.
Right. No question about that. Get lots of fluids and relax and get ready for practice next week because Coach King's going to be working them hard.
In the heat.
In the heat, yes, because it's going to be hot. And there it is, the kneel down, and that will take care of that. Here from Empire Stadium, the Holman Vikings, in a defensive battle with a lot of turnovers, win 14-0 over the Chippewa Falls Cardinals. We'll have our post-game coming up next. Here from Empire Stadium in Holmen, this is the High School Football Game of the Week on the Coulee Region Sports Network.
Ever think that you could do what these guys are doing right now on CRSN? Ever dreamed about having a career in sports broadcasting? There are good jobs right now for play-by-play announcers, sportscasters, and sports directors at great radio stations all over the country. At Radio 1 Broadcast School in La Crosse, you can get trained and ready for your new radio job. Get on our website, radio1school.com. That's radio1school.com.
Hi, I'm Ryan. I'm the owner of Howie's, and I love talking to my guests, and I love making new friends.
I've always enjoyed the food that has been served, and I would highly recommend anybody to come down. You can bring your family here. It's family-oriented. It's wonderful. It's fantastic. Chicken nachos are yummy.
Even if you've been to Howie's, you've never been to Howie's.
Oh my God, I love Howie's. I love what they did with the place. It's a wonderful place to hang out with your friends.
La Crosse's new favorite restaurant, Howie's on La Crosse Street.
All the magical sounds of Rudy.
Did I read today that Joe Montana said Rudy was a fake? Did you read that?
I've heard that was a long time ago, that story about Joe Montana talking about Rudy being a fake. There's no way Rudy Rudiger could be a fake. Story's way too good.
But it's Joe Montana. You had a man crush on Joe Montana.
Well, Joe Montana, one of the greatest quarterbacks to ever play the game. I'm not sure, but I have heard the story that Joe Montana believes Rudy's a fake. I don't know. I don't even want to comment on it. We know Ryan Braun was, though, but that's a whole other story. And Phil agrees with me on that one. Tianna, let's get your take again on this football game tonight. Obviously, we talked about turnovers. We talked about the Holman defense. Got to give a kudos to Tony Blair, the Chippewa Falls quarterback. I thought he played a pretty strong game considering the pressure that he was facing in the pocket.
Yeah, he definitely has a great arm under pressure for that 3-4 defense that Holman brought out tonight. Cutting out slightly. Sorry about that.
That's okay.
Martinez had a great game. The speed on that kid is amazing. He definitely has some talent. When he takes off, he is gone. As we said before, Coach King's going to have to work on their offense this week, some ball handling drills, but their defense came out strong, and obviously the switch up on the defense to a 3-4 this season was in their favor.
All right, thank you very much, Tianna. Getting some good close-ups, Phil, of some of the people's complexions there as they're walking by. There's nothing you can do about that, my friend. That's okay. They get to see them up close and personal on camera, and they don't care so much about that. But I tell you, if you can give us some other scores, Scotty, it'd be good to get the area scores before we pack things up for the night.
Well, last score coming out of Chatfield was 18-13 in favor of Caledonia still. It is a final, Westby 28-0 over Richland Center. Of course, 14-0 here. Durand beats West Salem 24-14, so West Salem did come back a little bit in that one. We talked about Merrill 43 on Alaska 19. Other scores looking up here. Let me see. Oh, and just an update right now. The Logan Rangers have taken the lead.
How about that team? They are the Cardiac Kids, aren't they?
2:11 left to play, 21-20. The Rangers are now in the lead over Eau Claire Memorial.
Well, this was a 14-0 win for the Holman Vikings tonight. It wasn't a pretty win. We talked about the defense being stellar, but the offense with the turnovers tonight, score could have been a lot more lopsided, but it is a shutout for the defense. the team meeting going on right now for the Vikings. Coach King and the coaching staff probably talking about the very same things we just mentioned. But they'll go at it against New Prague, another warm-up till they get to the MVC schedule. And, of course, this is a highly touted team with a lot of senior leadership, some big-time talent. That's where it's really going to start to matter. So fixing these things after games like tonight, moving ahead for the Holman Vikings.
Yeah, and I was really surprised tonight that we didn't see more of Dylan Martinez. I know that you're trying to set up certain things for certain players with play calling, but when you got an X-factor player like Dylan Martinez that can stretch the field with his speed, you got to find ways to use it, even if you don't get the ball in his hands, to open up other things for other players. I like the fact in the second half that Holman started to mix up their play calling a little bit, but again, the turnovers and that defense being out on the field as long as they were, you kind of had to wonder, if those couple turnovers the defense didn't get back, if Chi High were to score those 2 touchdowns in the red zone, we'd be maybe talking overtime right now, Rick.
Next week, we're at Onalaska High School to watch the Hilltoppers do battle with the West Salem Panthers. You will not be with me.
I won't.
We hope to have Ryan Caster-Smith, another member of the CRSN crew. Timmy Culp will be joining us on camera next week, and that's going to be exciting to have Timmy back as he's out in the cities this weekend, and Timmy a part of the crew as well, our production director for the Coulee Region Sports Network. I mentioned our title sponsors. I also wanted to say thanks to Howie's on Lacrosse, your ultimate sports viewing venue. Radio 1 Broadcast School, you can check them out online. Radio1school.com. And, of course, Buffalo Wild Wings Bar and Grill in Onalaska. Beer, wings, sports. For my partner, Scotty Gran, for Tianna Vanderhei, who did a great job tonight on the sidelines, and our cameraman, Phil Addis. I'm Rik Franke. We thank you so much for joining us tonight. Good night, everyone.
We hope you enjoyed the Coulee Region Sports Network High School Football Game of the Week. All of tonight's action has been presented by Coulee Bank, bank with confidence. Culligan of Lacrosse, better water, pure and simple. Builders Flooring, flooring experts so you don't have to be. Jones Construction, 608-386-8292. Let the owner work for you. And Smokey's Bar and Grill. High school football on CRSN has also been streamed live courtesy of Howie's on Lacrosse, your ultimate sports viewing venue. Carrie Bandel, State Farm Insurance, celebrate my drive. Radio 1 Broadcast School, check them out at radio1school.com. And Buffalo Wild Wings Grill and Bar, wings, beer, sports. This has been a CRSN sports presentation. Like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter for the latest in Coulee Region sports information. Coulee Region Sports Network. Live, local, and anywhere you can get the World Wide Web. CRSN.